Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Wow. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, everybody. I was not expecting this. I was not expecting a verdict today, but it looks like we've got one. Thank you for joining, everybody. Let me get on the screen. We're going to watch live outside the courthouse. until they go in. And I'm going to get to all the birthday wishes, you guys. Thank you so, so much. You make me feel so spoiled. Specialist birthday ever, for reals. Thank you so much. All right, let's get to this. We have Court TV breaking live. It says verdict reached in Delphi murders trial. So we're going to stick with Court TV and get the results of this. I know that a lot of people are in the courtroom or are lining up. So let's go to a live look outside the courtroom from this channel is called RK Cells. I'm sure a lot of you have watched it. There's 3,000 watching right now. So RK Cells is live outside of the courthouse, and you can see some of the YouTubers we've been watching are lined up to get in. Thank you so much for the happy birthdays. I've got presents to open. I've got thank yous to give. So we will get to those. I just want to get this up on the screen so you guys can see what's going on at the Delphi courthouse. This is a live look outside. Rhonda Good said the defense is in the courtroom and a line outside still waiting to go inside. And that's what we see right now. Thank you guys for joining. Come on in and hit that like button. We have a verdict. Talk about timing. So they have 2 hours, but it's going to be read at 3:00. So we have an hour and a half to kind of talk. I'm going to open up a panel. We're going to open some gifts. I appreciate everybody who's covered it. I think everybody who sat through this trial and was actually there in person has a right to their opinion. Absolutely. If we have a right to our opinions, the people who sat through the trial have a right to their opinions. Hey, John Gone Girl. Hey, Amy. I figured I did myself up today. Thank you. So yeah, we have a verdict that's going to be read in an hour and a half. Crazy town. Today is the day. So get your votes in. We have not guilty, guilty, or hung, which obviously it's not hung. So should we start over? Let's start a new poll. Let's just start fresh. Thank you so much, Angie B. I love you too, Angie. Thank you. You guys have made me feel like this is 51, bitches. Thank you so much. Angie B, thank you so much for being a moderator for me, for all of your dedication, for being wonderful. Oh, Lisa, you might have to have like two things going while in your meeting. They have a list for who's in first in line. Hi, Green Eyed. She says they have a list for who's going in. I know. Start anew. Okay, here we go. Let's get a new poll so we can vote fresh. This is Will Richard Allen be found? And let's do guilty, not guilty. And I guess that would be it because there is no other option, right? So it's just one or the other. Alice. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Alice. Alice says, happy birthday from your fellow Floridian. Alice, I haven't forgot about you. You supported me heavily in that first storm. Thank you so much for the birthday gift. They have not announced it, Melly. No one has missed anything. This is going to be 3:00 p.m. We have an hour and a half. There is no rush. Y'all aren't going to miss nothing. We're going to open some gifts. Hey, Mark Klein, thank you. It's actually 21st, but who's counting? We gonna party like it's our birthday. So not only is it my birthday, but November is the channel's birthday. So J is for Justice turns 6. So it's a great November for the channel and for me. And for all the November babies. Scorpio twins. I hope Lauren gets in the courtroom for the verdict. Yeah, I mean, we see everybody who's in line. I don't know how many they're letting in. But let's get to some of these super chats and membership gifting and anniversaries, clickiversaries. We've got Feminem gifted 1 gifter membership, whatever you call those. Giftership. Thank you so much, Fem. Good to see ya. Holly has been a member for a year. Thank you so much, Holly. A whole year. Wow. Nervous for everyone, but I think he's innocent. Tammy Clips, member for 2 months. Thank you so much for being a lawful listener for 2 whole months. Sample user, aka Petty AF. Happy birthday, beautiful. Much love, Petty AF. Thank you, sample user. Pugopolis, thank you for your super chat with the birthday cake. What's your favorite cake? Let me know. Regina, thank you for your generous super chat. And Angie B for yours as well. Alice, again, thank you for your generous super chat. So nice of you. And we got Green Eyed PI, 14 months with me, babe. Love it. Happy birthday, beautiful. Thank you. J Lo has been a member for 4 whole months. Thank you so much, J Lo. Wouldn't be the same here without you. Thank you for being a member. Delaney. Wait, Delaney. Hey, Delaney. Happy birthday. She says thank you for being a member for 8 months, Delaney. Awesome stuff. This is an exciting day, guys. So we are waiting for the verdict. Like I said, 3 p.m. Eastern. We will air it. We will stream it right here. Right here. Carrot cake. I love carrot cake. That ain't weird at all. Coconut Cooter, 45 months. Can we get a round of applause for, at the risk of sounding like the Monkey King, I've got to give a round of applause to the long-term members here. We are turning 6, Coconut Cooter. And you've been here for the majority of those 6 years. And Shell as well, 55 months. Thank you, Miss Nightbot. You guys, the birthday wishes, I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. Thank you so much. It really means a lot. It really means a ton. Those long memberships, man, those mean a lot. Those really say a lot to my channel and everything else. Let's get some damn turkeys. I'm with Kels. It's November. It's turkey month. Oh, we got look at this. We got all these clickiversaries. We've got Robin for 26 months. Saunders Bumpy Cake, my Michigan girl. Saunders Bumpy Cake is her favorite. Lisa Rose has been hanging out here for 15 whole months. Damn, Lisa Rose, time flies. Gypsy has been here for 6 months. Half a year, Gypsy. So grateful for everyone that you help in Discord. I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough for taking that on without even being asked. Like, you guys, we have a great group of people. Mama Annie has been a member for 17 months. Thank you, Mama. You guys are awesome. Hi, Flo. I think we should open a gift. I have a gift here from Aunt Flo. From my Aunt Flo. Lisa, a year. Happiest of birthdays to you. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Happy birthday, Jay.
You guys are great. You guys are awesome. I'm really was not expecting there to be a verdict. So I'm kind of jumpy myself. So let's open up. Thank you, Danny Dan. 16 months. I got a big Amazon package here. 16 months. I love you too. And Life's a Beach, 7 months. My forever channel. I love it. If we can bring each other back down to earth. Homemade chocolate cake with Cool Whip icing. All right, let's do it, Flobo. Aw, thanks, Melly. I appreciate that. Who's hung off the table? What table? On TV or behind me? That's my little astronaut. Okay, here we go. This is from Flobo. And it looks like we're about to take Jays for Justice to a whole new level. And the reason I say that is because we got a GoPro, guys. We are going to a whole new level. Thank you so much, Flo. We are going to a whole new level. We are going on year number 7. And guess what? Look at this, though. We're going to take you everywhere. I've got plans. I hope that you guys will look at all the accessories. I got plans, y'all. Thank you so much, Flo. Thank you, Twisted Isabel. Thank you. Thank you. So that's from Aunt Flo. You guys can thank Flo when we take this to another level. I'm so excited. Take you on the road, take you places. Robat is here. She just changed her name back. All right. And then we have, for those sticky times, right, Flo? This is what I should have had, and now I do. This is very important stuff. Happy birthday, 11/11. Look at this. We've got a crank emergency radio with solar. Thank you so much, Flo. This is going to rock my world this next hurricane. On the road again. Thank you so much. Traveling Cooter. You guys, we can go. We definitely are going to do some stuff this next year. I've had it on my mind. I'll share a little bit. So this is awesome, by the way. But there's some things in the works, and we'll talk about it in a members only because I want to get y'all's input, because I want to do something different. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later. Too much going on today. But thank you so much, dang Flo. Wow. Let's see who else we got here celebrating with me. We have Twisted Isabel. Let's give that a heart. And Cheryl McDonald, thank you so much for your super sticker. Love my Canadians. You know that. Happy birthday to you and many more from Life's a Beach. Thank ya. I don't want to miss anyone, so I'm trying to stay up on that. And I felt really weird this morning. Crimes, I get lots of emails. Well, Tiffany, how about we give away 5 memberships? I'll give back on my birthday. How about that? Here we go. Here's 5 cooterships coming in hot. How's that? Lake Girl, Jackie, Kiki, Party of One, and Crazy Grandma. Welcome to the Clickers. Cricket, you can come with me anytime. Hey, Irish Eyes. Thank you for all the birthdays. Birthday wishes. Thank you guys. Yes, thank you, Flo. She says you're welcome. Thanks to chat for all the love too. Here's to Jay on the go. That's a good little thing. I like that. Come on in with the verdict watch. Franny, welcome in. 2 Old Crows. Hey, thank you, Charlie. This is 51, y'all. This is 51. And I had a great weekend. I spent it with my granddaughter, which I couldn't have asked for a better weekend. Thank you so much, April Wine. Love your picture. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Let's get to some of the other thank yous. I have to thank Kendo. Thank you so much, Kendo, for sending a PayPal for my birthday. And Robin, Miss Robat, thank you so much. You guys are so generous and nice. I felt like I was playing at my own party. It felt weird. I've never done this before. Jackie, happy birthday. I've never done this before. I'm like, it's my birthday in the title. And I'm like, I feel like I'm throwing my own party. It was weird. I've never done that before. Thank you, Paco. So Robin, thank you so much. Kendo, thank you so much. Then we have Kels. Kels got me this beautiful notebook that I had on my Amazon wish list. And I've already started using it with my Andrea pens. So if you guys watched Andrea cover this case, you saw that she talked about her pens. I got the Sharpie S gel or whatever, gel S, whatever they are. Amazing pens. I love the white. And I have written down my thank yous from this morning. So we have Sophia Petrillo sent me a Target gift card. Thank you so much, Sophia. That was so kind of you. And then retired EMT, if you're here, thank you for sending me a Cash App and wishing me a happy birthday. Also to Kelly M for sending me a PayPal this morning. I appreciate you guys. More than you know. More than you know. Thank you so much. And also, Kel's got me these mushroom solar lights. I've already put them outside. So I'm going to show you guys a picture because they're so damn cute. Y'all might want to get them too. So let me pull it up so I can show you guys what these mushrooms. I'm obsessed with mushrooms right now. I am obsessed. Check it out. Oh, it won't let me? What the heck? Oh, crimes. Thank you so much, babe. Okay, let me show you these mushrooms real fast. I'm down with the shrooms. Where's Captain Ganja? Something doesn't feel right without Captain Ganja in here. Okay, check this out. Oh, I gotta make them bigger. Hold on. They're so freaking cute. I can't take it. So there's like 5 or 6 of them. God, my screen's going crazy. Hold on. I gotta slow down. I'm all nervous about this verdict, y'all. I am. Aren't they cute? Can you see them? There they are. Let's get some mushrooms in chat. Are they not cute? Thank you, Ange. Do you not love those? And they have different ways you can make them light up. There's like 10 different ways. I know the flag has Summerloo. They're adorable. Thanks so much, Kels. You have the ones from Lowe's, Em? The verdict is 3 Eastern. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So let's go back. This is them lining up to get in. So we'll be able to see kind of who goes in and who doesn't. We should have had JLR do a happy birthday rap. I'm really nervous. Thank you so, so much, everyone, for your generosity and thoughtfulness, thinking of me. I mean, wishing me a happy birthday. It really I really feel special today. I really do. Thank you. I know they're absolutely perfect. So wait a second. I want to show you guys something funny. Did you guys watch football yesterday? You know that I'm not a football fan, but when my Lions are in there, because, you know, people from Michigan, you know, if you know, you know, the Lions, every year, we hope they win, and every year they don't win. But I thought this was great last night. This little end zone dance they did, I have to share because it's funny as shit. And we've got time. We've got an hour and 15 minutes before the verdict is read. Let's see. How do I pull this up? Did you guys see the end zone dance from the Lions last night? All right. If you didn't, I'm going to show you. We're going to watch it right now. Wouldn't it be wild if, I mean, do you think that Richard Allen, if he was found not guilty, will he just walk out today? That's what I'm wondering. Thank you, Bubbles. Let's see here. Oh, here comes Summer. She came to say hi to you guys. By the way, you can't really hear anything on the live stream. It's just kind of wind, and they're letting people in just a couple minutes. So we'll shrink that down here. And I'm not a huge fan of football, but I thought this was cute as shit. It cracked me up. The cutie. Is that what that? I mean, I was like, what is it? Okay, you ready, guys? Watch.
Towards the end zone, Laporta, touchdown, Detroit. Sam Laporta. Goff out of the pocket. Finds his tight end, who's been a bit quiet.
What?
And the Lions
I can't.
celebrate the score.
And they all did it. Like, it's like I'm watching preschool. They all made sure they did it so many times and then before they got up. Do you love it? Ooh, IKEA. I love IKEA. Just be done by 3. Youper, you're a cheese because you're closer to the cheese heads. They're like doing they kick their feet. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I thought I was sitting there and I was like, I've never smiled while watching football, and it made me smile. Watch. Share that. It's too funny. Your Cowboys like crimes. All right, we've got, like I said, an hour and 10 minutes. All right, let's get this up. We're going to make this bigger. This is the people waiting to get in. I see. Do you see anybody that you know? That way I know it was the best. Hummingbird, thank you. All right, let me go through these. I don't want to miss anybody. We've got Crimes Have Consequences. Thank you so much. She says, happy birthday, Jay. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for your generous super chat. Missy, she says, happy birthday, young lady. Thank you so much for your super chat. Mrs. Fletcher, 4 months. Mrs. Fletcher, did you get all worked out in Discord, I hope? I hope. Let us know. And thank you so much, Gypsy. C. Bonbon, thank you for being a member for 5 months. Time flies. And Bubbles, thank you so much for your super chat. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all. I like I said, I felt like I was planning my own party. It was weird, but it's also the channel's birthday this month. So I was like, you know what? That's not too weird. We're six. You got gifted a membership for Lawyer Lee. Awesome. Thank you, Cheryl. Let me go through some of these. Dawn, thank you. One of the teams did the Trump dance. I can't with his dance. You don't see me around on Sundays because it's football day. Gotcha, Miss Fletcher. Now I know where you're hiding. Guilty. Justice for Libby and Abby. Green passes have went in. Now they're letting the public. Who's the Green Pass family or? Yes, the verdict will be read at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard. Quick Trip Global, hurry! We've been waiting 7 years for this verdict. Do they still get fined for end zone dances? I'm not sure. Hummingbird, thank you so much. Carla, thank you. Holly had a tornado yesterday. No, I did not. Is it warm up there? Somebody said it was 72 in PA. I think it was Lucia. Said it was 72. Ugh. Hey, Jen. Good morning, everyone. I'm back. It's just so much nicer here and drama free. We try. Amanda. Oh, what a cute puppy. Oh, my goodness. What kind of dog is that, Amanda? Is that a golden or is that a Cocker Spaniel? 6 years, baby. Thank you, Palm Tree Lover. A woman after my own heart. Media Green Pass. Okay. What's your thought? Oh, we're gonna talk about all that, Sophia. I think she's wild. I don't think we're gonna get cameras, no, but we're gonna get reports when the verdict is read. So we've got court TV over here. I mean, all we're gonna hear is if it's guilty or innocent, unless someone's gonna stream live when they come out. Like they're gonna hear it and run out. Is someone live that's waiting for someone inside to tell them the verdict? I don't know. You guys will have to let me know. They're going in so early to get a seat and get settled. Bubbles, happy channel birthday. 109K. Only took 6 years to get there organically. Thank you so much, Bubbles. It's 54 in Macomb County. That's nice. We can open up the panel. Let's do it. We can definitely take some panel calls. Let's get that open. I would love to talk to y'all. We had a good time the other night talking about this. Let's do it again. Let me get the panel. Oh my God, J-Lo, I read that is, can they tweak in the courtroom? I'm like, what? No phones. There's no phones. So if you guys know someone who's like live outside and is going to get the news, we can do that. Or we can wait until, the media announces what it is. I'm sure everybody will go live once they come out. Okay, so here is the StreamYard link if anybody wants to come up. Let me get that pulled up so you guys can see who's talking. Feel free to come up. There's that link to StreamYards. I'm going to have to get my headphones on. Hold on. I think he's going to be guilty. I think they just took their time making sure. God, I had so much I wanted to talk about too. But it doesn't really matter now because the verdict's in, so. Okay. Youper. Thank you. Hold on, let me get this. I got to. Happy birthday. Happy Veterans Day to our vets. Off to the grocery store. Sorry. It's okay. That verdict ain't going nowhere. Thank you so much, Youper. You know I appreciate you. Awesome. All right. Is anybody going to come up here with me? No cameras in the courtroom. No. No cameras. My computer is lagging. Already. There's no cameras, but it will be announced at 3 o'clock. Hold on. We got to pause this or something. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. We have 700 of you here. We will be airing that verdict live. I'm just trying to get set up where I can take your calls. It takes a lot of my computer resources to do this ish, apparently. Thank you for the birthday wishes, Wildfire. Hey, Anne. Thank you. You want one Jennifer or two Jennifers? Because the second Jennifer is lagging. You're not going to miss a thing, though. Not going to miss a thing. Oh, we got Jeeper up here. Okay. Jeepers creepers. All right, let's do this. Jeepers green eye.
Hey, happy birthday.
Hey, lady, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
We're going to party like
Birthday.
it's your birthday.
Party like it's your birthday. Yes, thank you so much, guys. So, are you as
So,
nervous as I am?
so I heard that they're having a problem with the list.
What list?
Okay, so they have a list. The people that were staying out, staying overnight in the chairs, they wrote a list of, uh, like, number one, who was out there first, second, third, fourth. They had
Uh,
numbers and they wrote a list.
okay.
Now they're saying that the guy came out and they're saying they don't think he's going to honor that list.
So, what does that mean?
Now, and those poor people have been sitting out there for days.
Hmm.
Lauren, all of them. Lauren said, "I'll do my best, guys." They let the green pass. They called for them. That's media, and then he came back and he talked to him about. They were explaining how they did the list, and then he came back and he said something, and Lauren was like, "Oh no, I'll do my best, guys. I don't think he's going to honor the list because they've never honored it before."
Hmm. Well, I mean, the
I feel
media
so
is getting in,
bad.
though, right? At least we'll have news from
Oh
them.
yeah, they walked right in. They walked right in. But it was funny because Dateline had sat there all night with them. They're on that list. It's weird because they're media. Why can't they just go right in?
Maybe they had to like sign up before the trial or something to be credentialed. I don't know.
Yeah,
But now
that would be so
we
sad.
have a bunch of news places live now too. Like Wish TV is live outside the courthouse.
Oh, okay.
So we've got the mainstream media set up outside. So I imagine how are we gonna know? Can the media like use their
Lauren,
phones?
all I know is that Lauren and the other people said if they get in, they have to put their phones up, of course, because they can't take them in court, but they'll come right out and tell us. That's the only way,
I just
because
wonder if the
I think,
media has phones, if they're going to notify someone on the outside and the media will break it first.
yeah, there is a guy that has an inside. He's real inside. So I'm pretty sure he'll probably put it out first.
What I'm interested in
Hey,
is if the
Cheaper.
family is there. Hey, hi,
Welcome
happy
back. Thank
birthday.
you.
Thank you. I'm curious if the family is there. I keep thinking about other cases like Trayvon Martin where the family did not show up because it was not guilty for. And I'm wondering if the family is there. That might be a reason why the list or who's getting in and whatnot has changed. Because I wonder, has anyone reported that they've seen any of the family go in?
No.
Well, do you know what's really weird, JJ?
Hmm.
I call you JJ.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Here's my
Oh,
thing.
yes, they are there.
Why do you
Sorry.
have why do you have him back at the prison, Cass, when they're deliberating, um, um, and most of the time they keep him in the jail in that little solitary place in jail. They keep him close. I've never heard of 2 hours. Normally it's like, okay, it's going to be 30 minutes or it's going to be,
Well, you know what was weird,
40
Green Eyed,
something.
is remember what the judge told the lawyers they needed to stay 5 minutes away in case that
That's
was for
exactly what I was
questions,
going to
though,
say.
right? Wasn't that for if the jury has questions and they can be there quick to kind of keep things moving?
She told everybody to stay 5 minutes. But then you go keep Alan and Cass. It's like you're going to keep him so far away.
Maybe for his
But
safety. Maybe for his safety.
but still, in the jail, they have that. In jail, they had that little solitary place they could have kept him in until a verdict was reached for a couple of days, so they wouldn't have to bring him, 2 hours or an hour. I just find that ridiculous.
So, yeah, I agree. So, families of the
I feel like it's
victims,
punishment.
the victims of the the families of the victims got there 33 minutes ago. So they are in the
Yes.
courthouse.
Okay, that's
Chris
interesting.
Watts. Chris Watts was in the jail, but remember how his, he was being, he was in danger.
I wonder if it has something to do with the charged emotions with this. Chris Watts's trial was pretty quick, and
He
it
didn't
was
have a
an
trial, though.
obvious.
He pled
I
out.
mean,
Right,
excuse me,
right.
you're right. I meant his case.
Yeah,
Thank you for the correction.
Yeah. I wish he
right,
had a
Mine
right.
trial.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, do I
Me
wish?
too.
My mind is just like, I'm nervous too, and I'm all over the
Me
place, so,
too.
I know
I
it's
know, I'm
crazy.
nervous.
It's, I was thinking about with that since, there was no trial and it was for the only thing he would show up in court for is his sentencing and then the victim impact statements that, this case is completely different, and this is 7 years worth of emotions and speculation and just misinformation and good information and revelations. There's so much charged with this that I imagine, no matter if it is a guilty or not guilty verdict that's going to be read, that they're expecting there to be some sort of commotion or backlash. So maybe they're just being really careful because this case is just so big in so many ways.
Well, the bad thing is that we had to go through, okay, it's Ron Logan. Oh no, it's Brad Holder. Oh no, it's Keegan Klein. Oh no, it's Tony Klein. Oh no, it's Elvis. We went through so many different people that we thought, okay, it's that person, it's that person. And then now, oh, it's Richard Allen. I mean, which nobody had ever even wasn't even on the radar. I just feel like we have been through so much, and we pay you, Judge Gold. We should be able to see this. We
I
deserve it.
absolutely agree because every time when a court case like this is shown or we have access, it's made public. It not only helps educate us on it, but
Exactly.
we learn about process and justice, and um, it also we as the public, when we hear things like that, need as much closure as the jury, and some sense that and speaking of the jury, oh my god, I hope that they're going to get some mental health services after this, because even us, when we're watching the news or we're online and we're researching a case or following it, it can cause mental distress, it can cause depression, because we have to process that there are human beings out there that do these things to innocent
Absolutely.
people. So I can't even imagine being on a jury and being exposed to everything you're seeing and stuff. You're also sitting across from the family, the surviving victims of these crimes, and you're emotionally exposed with seeing that, and you have the memories built around this. I don't know if they're going to provide that, but that should be part of something that jury members should always have, is some support after this.
Jurors are always provided counseling. That
Good.
that is that's part of the judge will tell them that and give them they're always provided counseling after a case.
Hey
Yes.
y'all, I wanted to say happy birthday real quick.
Thank you,
Hey, girl.
girl.
You're welcome. Okay, go ahead.
So what is everybody thinking? Besides being
Well,
nervous.
let's
I've never been so nervous on a case.
let's look at the poll, Green Eyed. We've got
Okay.
40% say guilty and 60% say not. 60
I've
40.
never, I've never in my life felt more convinced of someone's innocence in my life.
Seriously? You still feel that
Yeah.
way?
I'm so convinced of his
I do
innocence.
too.
Oh
Not
my
even
God, you two.
funny.
I'm
Really?
So
guilty.
convinced. Oh, beyond. It's so. I mean, listen.
Yeah.
The reason why he was at Westville was because they intentionally put him there to get those confessions, and at that point, throw it
Yeah.
all away. Throw it all away.
Now, I
That's all they
agree
have.
with him being in Westville was fucked up, okay? But it doesn't mean he's innocent in my head. Like, that can be
No,
dealt with. You know what I'm
true.
saying? Like,
Okay. Jay, let me let you think about this.
go ahead.
They remember their first interviews with people. Remember, we call them interviews. They're really interrogations. Remember, they were erased. They're covered up by other quote interviews. We don't have those,
Right.
and they don't either. So it could have been Brad Holder. It could have been Elvis. So they didn't have anybody because it was gone. The evidence was gone.
Well, what's funny to me
Um,
is if you look at like all the people they assumed, or I'm sorry, if you look at all the people they kind of investigated and all the people that social media has investigated, I've seen more circumstantial proof for all these other randos than I've ever seen for Richard Allen.
Brad Weber's gun was never cleared. I have a problem with that.
But don't the ballistics of the bullet, or not the bullet, but the casing link back to Richard Allen? Am I
No,
wrong on that?
no, the
No,
ballistics are so effed. That was a totally inconclusive testing. That's science that wouldn't be approved in any other court to be admissible because they couldn't come to a conclusion that it was for sure from his gun because they had to fire it. So if you have to
but
fire
fire
a
it is
bullet,
way different than
way
it
different,
being. Yeah,
incredibly
she
different.
had to.
So
She fired it, and if you look at the pictures, it's not. It's way different. Look closely at the pictures.
yeah, I've
The
heard the markings
markings are
aren't legit.
different.
Yeah, I've heard they're not even similar, but I haven't seen them myself.
Okay, so for you
Yeah,
guys
I
that
saw
you
them.
guys think he's innocent, let me ask you a question. And I want you each to
Okay.
answer it, okay? You ready? We have all these witnesses who were on the trail that saw one man that they called Bridge Guy, correct?
Yes.
The
Yeah.
only person that was on the trail that didn't see Bridge Guy is Richard Allen. So
Yes,
explain
and I
that.
have an answer why.
Explain
Because he
it.
was already gone by 1:30 p.m. He was already gone.
How do you look? Those witnesses once said, "Oh, he was wearing a black jacket." What? Oh, nope, he was young. He was 6'10". He was, 5'10". He was taller. He was bloody and muddy. I don't. Where is the bloody and muddy?
Green.
It's not in your
Hey,
comments
green-eyed.
or on your card.
Green-eyed, you're
What?
being told to calm your tits.
Oh,
She
you know
is
what? I wish I had tips to calm.
she's worked up,
I'm just
y'all. She is worked up.
It
No,
says PI
you know
in her
what?
name for a reason, I think.
I'm so sorry
No,
because I'm so nervous.
no,
I'm so
girl.
nervous. I'm sorry,
No, you're
y'all.
Oh, I feel
I'm,
it. I feel it.
No, I love
I'm
you,
so
lady.
nervous.
I love you, lady. Don't.
I'm,
You know, I was gonna say about perception and when people give witness
Oh,
statements of
she
seeing.
left. Green-eyed, I was just messing with you.
Oh no!
Oh no. I wanted to say though, Jay, I believe that he was gone already. I believe he had his time frame kind of wrong. I believe he already was gone by like 1:30, 1:35. He had to have left by the time the girls were probably getting there cuz he says he never even saw them, right? And he saw three girls, one was taller, and we don't even have those three girls. We assume we know who those three girls are, but we really don't.
Dude, she's
Yeah, I was gonna
passionate.
say.
She's passionate as hell. Green-eyed. She's been on this since day one, and she
Yeah, and it's been 7 years.
knows this case inside and out. Like, she knows all the players, all the stuff that's gone on. So I get it. I just thought it was funny because Angie B, whenever Angie B says something, Like, she's the only one that can say shit like that, and it's okay because it's Angie B. She's, calm your tits, girl. Oh,
I thought it was funny. Oh, come back though. I
Yeah.
miss your passion.
I know.
Yeah,
We need
please
her up
come
here.
back.
We need her up here. Anybody can
I
come
was
up
gonna
here, guys. I'll put the link in the chat. We can chit chat.
So what do you think about that? What do you think about the possibility that he was already gone?
Well, he said he wasn't, though.
In his second, he changed his time frame, right? He went earlier. He said then it was like 12 to 1:30 in a second one, and we don't know really which time frame he got wrong.
And he's confessed so many times. Like, it wasn't just
You
once. It
gotta
wasn't
throw
just
those
one.
out. You have to throw those out because they were all when he was in psychosis, all of them. Like there wasn't a time period where he was back to baseline like they tried to testify because you show the video a couple hours later, he's sitting there catatonic. He never got back to baseline. He was always in psychosis.
She's back.
I was grabbing my tits.
Well, yeah. How are your tits? Are they okay?
Oh gosh, they're sore.
Did they take deep breaths? Did they do some yoga?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, they did Pilates and they're stretched out. Oh, it hurt. You know, I'm kind of older, so they kind of, they got a little droop.
Those are experienced tits.
Thanks for the
They are seasoned.
seasoned.
They are seasoned.
Seasoned
Telling you.
You are
I'm 50.
you are loved here, green-eyed. And I appreciate that you are passionate about this. Like, a lot of people are very, very passionate about the outcome of this case, and I'm willing to accept whatever the jury comes up with. And that's where I've kind of gotten myself. I was thinking about it this morning. I'm like, okay, so what happens? Because now this is going to be the case that never dies. It will, 150%. No one will ever agree. Like where we are right now, we're going to remain. And that's what I think.
Why do you believe the confessions?
It's not that I believe the confessions per se. I mean, if someone confesses 60 times, like that's a lot. But it's the whole totality of it all. Like, why didn't he tell Kathy he was on the bridge that day? Why was that kept from her? Why didn't he say, dude, I was there and like these girls are dead and I like called the police and told them I was there? Like, why keep that from your wife? Weird. The recovering alcoholic thing I think is bullshit because there's in 2019 he's drinking beer and playing pool. So I think this dude has a lot more going on than we know about. That's just my thought.
Kathy told him to go to the police. Kathy told him to go to the police.
I heard that she did.
I thought that in the interrogation room, she came in and said, why didn't you tell me you were on the bridge that day? You only told me you went to the trail.
He told her that he was there, and she said, you need to go to the police. And he did. Look, let me tell you something. If I committed a crime, if I was Richard Allen,
dude, if I was on that bridge, and I didn't do it, I would have said I was there. But it's funny, he didn't fucking see anybody. He didn't see Abby and Libby. He didn't see Bridge Guy. He
saw 3 girls.
Look, if I was Richard Allen at this point, if he would have never said nothing, they would have still been looking for Bridge Guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think he might be.
Still been working.
I think Kendo might be right.
He's still been working at CVS.
Kendo said, I think he's a piece of the pedo pie. Could be. And you know what?
Okay, so
He worked.
They can't connect them. They can't connect them to the crime.
I'm gonna say this crime had no sexual component. Nothing about it says there was a sexual component.
Libby was nude.
One girl being nude. Yeah, but there was no sexual assault. There's an unknown female DNA when they did the rape kit. There was no sexual assault.
Well, maybe he couldn't. Maybe he couldn't get. Maybe it didn't get that far.
I think they've been wrong with the sexual assault this whole time.
As someone who has been sexually assaulted as a 5-year-old and then as an adolescence, that sexual assault doesn't always mean penetration.
Touching,
They could. Now she was naked, So we don't know if she was if there was any assault against her in a sense of, something inappropriate, and he could still absolutely get
Right.
satisfaction from, as proven in other cases with others. So to say that, to remove that element completely is not, or whoever it was, I don't want to say it was absolutely Richard Allen, but anyone, we don't know that
We don't
part.
know, but you have to look at the evidence, and if there's no evidence to show sexual assault, we can't then say, "Well, you know what? There was a sexual assault from whoever 10 years ago that he got off just on killing the person," but, like, there's no evidence to show that. There's no sperm. There's no nothing. Like,
Yeah, but so tell me why this little bitty town of population of 12, not really, but just saying, why did they tell FBI to leave Doug Carter, who has barely anything to do with it, but acted like he was the head honcho? And
I
he
believe, sorry,
answered two questions on the stand.
I believe that they asked the FBI to leave. There's a part of it. I'm not going to say it's the sole reason, but just going off of their cases, that there is, they call it the cowboy complex, where law enforcement, local law enforcement or state law enforcement, they do not want to share the case. They want the credit. They want the glory on it. And like I said, the last time I was on this panel, it's really a shame because everybody's on the same side. They should work together, but in some cases they literally will force out the FBI because they don't want them to take, carry the take the torch and from them, so to
Yeah,
speak.
but it
It's
shouldn't be
an
about
ego thing.
ego. It should be about finding the truth, right?
Of
And
course, but they
here's
do
but I
this
feel like the
time and time
FBI
again.
was investigating angles they didn't want to go down. That's what it seems
yeah.
like to me because the FBI straight
Yeah.
up said, we believe that there is evidence in Ron Logan's home that he committed the crime of murder. I mean, that's a pretty heavy thing for the FBI to say, and then for them to go, "Oh no, wasn't him," and they're basing it on his lie of an alibi. Who makes up an alibi when you didn't do anything? Oh, because he was driving illegally. He told his cousin to lie and say he drove him. I don't know if I believe that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't believe that. But what about, can I ask you something? Let me ask y'all something. What about the couple that was under the bridge?
Thank you. Who was that?
Who?
Thank you.
There
Who
was
was
a
that?
girl, there was a girl, and there was a man.
That's what
There
I've been
was
thinking this whole
there
time. I'm
was
like, who's the
female
woman?
there was female hair that was not tested. I need to know. Just asking.
Do
I'm
of
getting
all
my
the
I'm getting my tips. I'm getting my tips correct. Chill out. I'm just asking questions that should have been looked into. They were there under the bridge.
My question is, of all the witnesses, who was the couple? Do we know by name who they were?
Yeah. Why weren't they brought in?
Who?
The couple
Who
that was
are they
arguing
though?
over the bridge. There was a couple by one of
I've
the
never heard that.
maybe.
Who are they?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I
Oh my
think
There
it
was
God.
a couple, man and woman,
was Daniel Pierce.
under the bridge. And when you have unknown female DNA hair, I need to know whose hair that is. Test it. I don't care if you think it's the sisters by the
Okay,
root.
but
I
okay.
need to know.
So you guys are discounting all 60 confessions because he was Delulu. You don't believe it. Yours, you're sick.
I,
I'm just
this is
counting
what
them
I
because they were coerced by definition.
But
can.
but wouldn't a
can tell
coerced
you.
wait. Wouldn't a coerced confession go further to law enforcement versus mom and wife? What do you think about that?
This because they
I can
continue
tell.
all these like confessions from him that were like, maybe, I think, and notice they didn't stop trying to get these confessions
The
until
jury is
magically they
entering the
had the
courtroom.
detailed
The jury
ones.
is entering the courtroom.
Ah!
Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh. Okay. Oh my gosh.
All right, let's go to court
Oh,
Okay,
TV.
I
let
have
me
an
grab my
opinion.
tits. Grab your tits.
Grab them.
I'll
I
grab
have
them,
a-
JJ.
Where do we
I
go?
have an
Twitter?
opinion about the
Should I go to
the
X?
confession.
Should I go to X? Where are we going to get the latest news?
Probably X.
Is that what you just heard? Oh my gosh. Oh god.
Do you think Pubes is getting the verdict from Walla, guys?
Who? Great Pubes?
Yeah.
Did you
He's
guys
got
watch?
Walla
I
on
was
his
going to
team.
show you guys part of this panel I watched last night. Did you guys watch? His name is Tom Webster.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so here the jury has been okay. Court TV, follow Court TV for updates. Okay, so that's what we'll do.
Okay.
We'll put
oh my
this.
gosh.
Oh Lord, Pubes is on here. Okay, we're gonna
No.
look at he is, but we'll keep it muted until they have a verdict.
Why can't I see? I can only
Oh,
I can't
because
see that.
it's oh
Okay, so the confession
I
thing
just want
though,
to.
didn't you
Yeah.
think it was weird that he was like, maybe, and then they kept trying to get all these confessions, and then finally, the one confession that was detailed, even though the rest of them weren't, then they stopped pushing for these confessions. That is what I'm saying.
okay,
Getting
so
All I
let
can
me
say-
ask you this. If the jury comes back and says guilty, are you going to accept that?
Hell no.
Oh, fuck.
Hell
See?
no.
We're going to be
Hell
going
no.
on for years. This is going to be the case.
Years.
Like Watts,
years.
you know, did he
It's
do
gonna
it?
be like Chris Watts.
This is gonna be it's not gonna be like Chris Watts because Chris Watts admitted that shit. There's evidence all over the place.
Yeah,
Like, this
yeah,
is
but
really
they
just a
kept
situation where
going
this man-
on.
They got no
But he
evidence.
will.
They
He
have
will
no
get an
solid evidence.
appeal. He will
Yeah.
get an appeal.
That
Green
Trust me,
eyed.
Judge
when another
Paul-
Green
judge-
eyed. Can I ask you just don't get mad at me, but can you put your mouth away from the mic just a little bit? It's like kind of
Oh, shoot.
crackly.
Let me turn it down.
I don't mean to cut you off, sorry.
Let
When
me
you're-
grab my tits.
When
Is that better?
Yeah.
the
Is that better?
A little bit, yeah. It's
Yeah.
still it's like really it's like loud, it like crackles.
That's so weird. How about this?
Can you
Can
whisper
go on
like
your
Betty?
volume? Your volume setting?
Yeah, can you turn your volume down on your StreamYard?
That's what I was doing. How about this?
Yeah. like
There you
that.
go.
Y'all sound like a sex.
There you go.
Sound like a sex worker.
Put ice on them titties, girl. Okay, so
Oh,
on
great.
panel we have Green-Eyed PI. Okay, she is in the bottom left. We have Shboogies on the bottom right, and then we have Jeeper Girl on the top right, and then we have me. There's the four of us.
You know, I was going to say about the confessions when you asked why didn't he give them to the police directly if he was trying to, get that pressure off or if it was coerced. But with saying it to his mother and his wife in the confessions, I believe that when someone is confessing something to someone they love, someone they need validation from, that they're not going to leave them, they're not going to abandon them, they're going to still support them, that they will start it off, and when they talk about it, it's leading, it's fishing, like they will just say just I did it, or I very little, just to see what kind of reaction that they're going to get at first. And Kathy, she was very adamant, no you didn't, she wasn't going to accept it. He tried to let her know I did, and she and his mother, they don't believe it. Of course, I mean, that's a really hard situation to be in, but I feel like the reason why there are so many number of confessions and whatnot is because he really needed that validation from them that they were going to still support them, because he really was close with his wife and his mother. And I just, if it wasn't if he wasn't truly saying these confessions because he is the real killer, I really believe he just would have went to law enforcement and then said to his family, communicated that, oh, I had to, when they questioned him, why did you confess? That he would say, I really didn't mean it or whatnot. But the fact that he just went directly to the two people that anchor him in this world and that he went
Yeah.
to them, that's why.
Speaking of
That's my
him,
opinion.
speaking of him being anchored, you know, I've had a couple days off to think about this. I haven't, been live. Yeah. So I was kind of thinking about their dynamics and like, oh, how like the ones that think he's innocent are saying like, oh, he's such a gentleman, like he's so respectful of his wife. Has anyone ever thought that maybe he's just a big man baby and maybe he was like that with his mom and his wife kind of took over? I mean, everyone's automatically going to this like high school sweetheart love story of these two. How do we know the dynamics for real? We don't. How do we know he's not a big man baby? Like, oh, you'll love me. It reminds me of Chris Watts. Do you still care about me? No matter what? Like, fuck off, dude. You're 50 years old. What does that even mean?
What about this scenario? What about this
But what does that
scenario?
even mean? Will you still love me regardless? You're 50, dude. Why is that your main concern? I mean, there's two dead girls, right? You're confessing to the shit and you're worried about whether your mommy's going to still fucking love you? That's weird to me.
Well, what about this scenario, Jen?
What's up?
What about you're with that goofy therapist? All her crap should be thrown out. She's not even credible. Get out. Just get out and go grab your boobies. So, and the warden. These two people are the ones that control everything.
Yeah. But you know what? Yes. That should be dealt with.
He might have confessed, said, okay, pick up the phone, I'll call and confess to my mom and my wife, thinking, okay, they're making it easier on me because I'm on Haldol and I'm stuck in this solitary cell.
Right.
At this point, like I had told you before, Haldol in a solitary cell, I'd be doing jumping jacks naked. I told you that.
Right. No, I get it.
And I would tell you anything that you would want.
How many though? But how many
out of here?
How many people that are accused of a crime have a daily visit from a psychiatrist? How many? I mean, because Stephen Stearns is sitting down here in solitary in Florida, in Osceola County, and his ass. I don't think his ass gets no psychiatrist every day. I mean, that's a lot of. That's not solitary. That's not sitting in the hole. Like right now, Terry Nichols is in the Supermax prison in solitary. He's been there since 1995 when the Oklahoma City bombing happened. He has no visitors. He has no contact with humans. That's solitary to me. When you have a lady coming and talking to you every day, I don't feel like that's solitary. That's just my opinion.
I think my opinion is that she was feeding him.
She was
feeding him information. Going, look.
How many men are going to confess 60 times to killing two teenagers if they didn't do it? I mean, I can't imagine.
When you're on Haldol and in a cell, you're insane. You're going to go, I killed him. That's just how I am thinking because I've had patients.
I mean, it's possible, yeah.
On Haldol.
I'm just throwing out I'm playing devil's advocate here because it's fun.
Here's what I'm wondering.
He didn't do.
Here's what I'm wondering. Yeah, I was just gonna say. So his family's alive. He said he killed them all. He said he started World War III.
Fair, yeah.
I would give that maybe like a couple years before that starts. So I don't think he was telling the truth there either. So when are we gonna pick and choose what's the truth and what's not?
Yeah, you can't cherry pick just because he's running around going, I killed everybody. I molested my dad. You just can't. It doesn't. What I'm saying is, Holman said I'm going to get you to confess. He said, I'm going to get you. And he sent him there, and he broke him,
But let
is what he did.
me ask you a question. Is it possible in your realm for him to be guilty and this to be 100% shoddy police work? Could he still do it? I mean, even though he was treated like shit, all that aside, that could be dealt with. That could be.
Timeline doesn't fit.
So you still aren't convinced?
Timeline doesn't
How
fit
can
for
you
him
do all
to do
that,
it.
Jay, in 15 minutes by yourself?
And I mean, if you're looking at the basic evidence of what they actually do have, the elevation with the phones, the fact that if you recreate that distance with the phone, it just takes you to the access road. It doesn't take you down the creek and across and all that fun stuff. That's very interesting.
Say, Green-eyed, you said, how could one person do this in 15 minutes? We don't know what was done truly, and all it does is take seconds to slit someone's throat. And the
Listen.
thing is, so many people keep saying that they don't understand how one person could do this with two girls. And once again, I reference, how many cases have we seen where one person, look at even BTK,
Verdict is
whole
in.
families. Oh my God.
What?
Someone said the verdict is in.
Yep.
What?
Someone said verdict is in. I don't know.
Verdict's in.
It's Vinin.
No, I'm sorry. Like I'm thinking they announced it. That's
Oh,
what I was
no.
thinking.
Oh my
We
God.
still have a
I'm
half
so
hour.
sorry.
Oh my God.
So sorry. I'm just seeing if you guys are awake. You're welcome.
Oh,
You
still
are
breathing,
you
'cause
are
I
a
lost my
trip.
breath for a moment.
You are a trip. Okay, I'm trying to get my screen set up here. I got it on Wish TV. They reached a verdict at 1:39 p.m., so not even an hour ago. And we can watch it live.
But
there.
you said jury came in 30 minutes ago. That was that.
They're in the courtroom, yeah. They went in. They're in there sitting. So we've got this live stream right here that they're going to turn on when there's a verdict. So I guess we've got our source.
Court TV.
This is Wish
Yeah,
TV, actually. Indianapolis News. So here we are. Let's take a listen. Oh, you guys can't see it on Streamlabs because I'm using OBS. So you'd have to look on your YouTube to see the screen, what I'm showing. Just FYI. Kind of doing things different, but they're showing the news right now. And then we've got the live look outside. I wonder if the Murder Sheets podcast got in. Like, I wonder who all got in. All the people that have been on. I didn't realize. Okay, so what I was telling you guys about the panel I watched last night, there was a panel of 9. And his channel is Tom Webster. And it looks like he used to try to be like a YouTube comedian. Now he's on true crime. But his name's Tom Webster, and he went there to the trial. And there's like 4 or 5 on the panel out of 9 that were actually in the courtroom. And one of the girls is Susan Hendricks, that wrote a book called Down the Hill. I think it's called Down the Hill or something.
Down the Hill.
She was on Nancy Grace, that Susan Hendricks. She was on his panel last night. And let me tell you, when he pinned a comment about 46 minutes in, if you go to that video, and he pinned a comment saying Kelsey German should be a suspect. And that woman was like, look, Tom, if you don't get that off your screen, I'm leaving. I was like, wow. So, yeah, I mean.
Wow. I don't like her because she's always with Nancy Grace, and she always is like fist bumping everything Nancy Grace says. So I don't know. Nancy Grace is very sensationalism, and I don't really respect that.
I've watched Nancy Grace for like 3 decades. I love her. I can't help but love her because she's like my OG crime lady. Like before
No
there
offense
was
to you.
No, and I don't take offense to it. I don't know her personally, but she's just been around for so freaking long that
I just wish she would, like, during the Delphi thing, she wasn't saying the right stuff. She was incorrect,
Well, she's not doing the sensational stuff. Oh my God!
Oh my God! They're saying it came back guilty.
Oh, thank God! Thank God!
Oh my God! Yeah.
Thank God! Where do you
Oh
see
my
that, though? I
God.
don't see it.
And oh my God.
Hold on.
Guilty
Oh
Hold
my
on.
Oh
God.
my God, I have goosebumps.
I'm not seeing anything yet. Hold on. I guess it is. Why didn't they wait till 3? That was kind of a...
Oh my
All right, who's live
God.
right
Oh,
now?
I gotta see.
Brian Enton was
I
there.
want to see somebody that was in there.
Brian Enton.
We will. We got to give... Oh, my God. Look at the crowd there, guys.
Oh my God.
Well,
Mm.
That's
I'm trying to
disgusting.
pay attention. I'm trying. Jury said he's guilty, but I haven't seen that yet. I don't know where...
Well, good luck, guys.
Let's
With
see.
all the millions and millions of dollars that Delphi
Okay.
is going to pay.
Lawyer is live. Wish
Wow.
TV. Let's go to Wish
Here comes
TV.
the appeal.
Yep, guilty. Here we are. Hold on. Let's take a listen, guys.
Mm.
Just a couple of minutes ago, we saw.
Yeah, I'll hop down for this.
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Me too.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye,
Sorry,
Jeeper.
very
You're
emotional.
no, you're
You know,
okay,
I
babe. If
can't
you want,
believe it.
do you want to stay up? You can stay up here with me.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just, oh my God, I'm so emotional.
It's okay.
I can't believe that today it had happened. It still seems like it's a dream. Like I never thought we would finally get here. I mean, took 5 years for an arrest.
Okay, so I'm gonna. If you want to mute, your StreamYard, I'm gonna actually play the news. You have to listen to it on YouTube. I'm sorry, but I want to hear
No, that's fine.
what the people in there were saying.
Me too. Me too.
Okay, here we go.
Fall into his hands. It's been 8 years since the girls died, and something that he has personally made his mission here as a prosecutor. So.
Okay, yeah, so I want to touch on
Go ahead,
something.
one more question, Cody. Then I want to bring Mario back in, okay? So go one more question with Kyla. I'll bring Mario back in. You guys sit tight. Go ahead, one more question to Kyla.
Yeah, so Kyla, we have one more question. The sighing, and you've mentioned that a couple of times. Can you get a sense that they are just tired? Everybody associated with this case is just tired, and they're glad it's over.
Yes, Cody, here's the biggest thing on my notes, and you'll see it kind of underlined and circled. Exasperated is the word, exhausted. Judge Gold said many times, you all must be exhausted. She said that even right before and right after she read the verdict, and it's certainly something that I think is a theme for both the defense and the prosecution, and of course, the jury.
All right, Kyla, thank you so much. Phil, I'll send it back to you there in the studio.
Okay, hey guys, sit tight. We'll get back to you momentarily, okay? We'll bring Mario Masalamani back in. Again, a noted defense attorney. He's been with us throughout the trial. You know him well from our All Indiana Politics show, but this is his bread and butter. He knows this stuff very well. Mario, are you surprised by this guilty verdict?
I think with the fact that he confessed numerous times, I think the jury deliberated for a long time. That
Who is
shows that
this
they
guy?
took
I don't
this
wanna
case
watch
extremely
him.
Seriously, but the confession was probably what did it in for the defense.
For sure, it was the confession.
Before the
Okay, so do we know anybody is live outside the courtroom yet? I don't want to listen to this guy. He doesn't know anything. Let's see what lawyer.
I agree. Lauren, is she alive?
I don't know. Let's see. I imagine they're all in there if they got in. Let's see. No, she was. Oh, yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Let's see what's
Gone. And these are left. Look, those signs are gone. And these are left. Hey, Marv.
Were you inside? Can you come tell my audience?
Yeah, I am live right now. I just shared it, but it was super emotional.
The thing about the confessions
Kathy
that
Allen
I
did
was
break down.
trying
She was
to,
crying very
I
hard.
I was Shiboogies and Green Eyes
Wait.
could.
Wait, hold on. I'm playing Lauren. I don't know if you can hear it.
Are you playing Lauren?
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm here with Marv, who's been a YouTuber here
Oh.
and in the line.
Marv was on the panel last night.
Anna Williams. After they were letting everyone leave slowly, first the jurors,
Right.
and Kathy Allen had to be lifted, sort of to stand for the jurors, and then they let the Allen family leave, and after the Allen family leave, they let Abby and Libby's family leave that wanted to first, before any of the media got out, right? Like giving them that opportunity to get out of there. And I did notice Anna Williams and Patty just embrace and cry. I saw Becky, you know, thanking the police officers and law enforcement, many law enforcement in the back, full courtroom. They had everyone in the public in the very back, media in the very front, everywhere in the middle was for the families.
What was the look on Richard Allen's face? Could
You know, we could only see the back because we were in the very back, but I didn't see any
Who's
emotion
ER?
or like, I couldn't see any tears from him. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't see, but I could actually see him nodding at the judge after, as the judge gave instructions for after the fact. Like he was nodding, like listening to the judge, but I couldn't make out any tears or any incredible emotion from him. But again, I only had, you know, the view I had. So that's what happened. I'm going to continue on with my live, but Mark, thanks for all you did, and yeah, we'll process it all together. Okay.
Okay, guys.
Hey, thank you.
I watch you all the time. You're great.
Thank
It's just a bunch of talking heads talking about it, like giving their opinions.
But I couldn't.
I agree.
couldn't make-
No one's really. Let's go to court TV and see what they're saying. Watch live. There's a lot going on, and here we go.
The verdict, when can we expect them? Andrew Baldwin replied they were on their way up. They entered the room
Here we go.
at about 2:14. At 2:15, the jury, or rather 2:19, the jury entered. You could not tell from the looks on their faces. They did not make eye contact with Richard Allen or either family members of the victims, Abby and Libby, or Richard Allen's family. They came in, they sat down. They looked weary. And again, the room was absolutely quiet. The judge had admonished the crowd not to have any outbursts, that regardless of what the verdict was going to be, there were going to be people who were going to be unhappy with it. She said, you can take your unhappiness outside of the courthouse.
Take your
Again,
unhappiness
this jury finding
outside.
Richard Allen guilty on all 4 counts of murder that he was facing after about 18 hours of deliberations over 4 days, Vinny.
So at the moment he's found guilty, everyone admonished not to say anything, not to react. What did you notice anything in the courtroom? Anything from a family member to Richard Allen?
Yeah, so his wife and mother, his wife Kathy and his mother Janice began sobbing. The people who were sitting around them hugged them, held them. They were audibly sobbing through most of the proceeding once that verdict was announced. There were members of Abby and Libby's family that were crying. There were others that just remained rather stone-faced as the verdict was read, and that immediate reaction. Once the sentencing date was set, the judge did say that we were free to leave. The law enforcement in the room allowed Richard Allen's family to leave first. After Richard Allen was outside of the court, he was immediately taken into custody. Obviously, he's been in custody, but that will change soon for him. Then the Allen family was allowed to leave, as were members of Abby and Libby's families. Some of their family members stayed to give hugs to members of the prosecution team, to Superintendent Doug Carter of the Indiana State Police and Lieutenant Jerry Holman of the Indiana State Police, as well as the prosecutor, Nicholas McClelland, Stacy Diener, James Luttrell. A bit of a celebration in court, although they weren't being very loud with that celebration. I was on the opposite side of the room, but there were a lot of hugs going around, a lot of pats on the back. The prosecution, though, remained somber-looking throughout this entire proceeding today. And again, you know, it was just very, very quiet in the courtroom. It was really the first time that I've been in the courtroom with all of these people, and you could hear a pin drop. A lot of reaction outside. I came out of the courthouse. I was one of the pool reporters today, so I did have my sign for the members of the media who were not in. And as people began to see this and realize what the verdict was, there was a lot of cheering, a lot of screaming for Abby and Libby, a lot of clapping. A lot of people are very happy with this verdict. Of course, not everyone is. Richard Allen's family appearing to be quite surprised by this verdict. The judge did also mention that the county, Carroll County, is not able to do that pre-sentencing report for Richard Allen. She had already talked to people from her county who are willing to do that. The defense did waive the 30-day sentencing, which is typical here in Indiana for sentencing to happen in December. Again, it'll be December 20th. They think they only need 1 day for that, and the judge has set aside the entire day. That is a Friday, December 20th. We'll be back here in Indiana to find out just how many years he's facing. Right now, he could be sentenced to 130 years or more.
Damn.
Vinny?
Barbara, Ted Rowland's with us for our verdict coverage.
130 years? Jeeper girl, holy.
I know.
30.
Uh-oh. Are we frozen?
I think they only need 1 day for that.
I
And,
don't see us as frozen.
Oh. I'm not playing them anymore because they're gonna start their panel. So everybody in the chat, there's people that are mad, there's people that are sad, there's people that are glad. This is nuts.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be very divided. The more a case has had time for people to discuss, and especially with the power of the internet, we have a lot of internet sleuths and internet detectives who are able to pull information or share information about a case. The more it gets divided on what's going on. But I still have to refer back to the confessions when someone asked me, all those confessions were forced or he did that out of desperation. Like I said, I refer back to who he was confessing to, what was said during the confession, and also the fact that when there is a confession, there has to be, if you're going to suspect it was done out of force or desperation, there has to be a benefit somehow. There has to be some sort of reward. There has to be a trade-off. Nobody just confesses to confess. There has to be something. And the fact that he kept going back to his family members for it, that was what he was going to gain. The support, forgiveness, and that anger that he would need, because he knew he was gonna, if he's confessing, he's gonna stay in prison. And the fact that it was done so many times, that was the desperation. That's desperation when you are confessing that many times. But to the people it was his family, for the forgiveness. If he had been confessing to law enforcement, the desperation, I feel like the reward would have been better treatment and getting out of solitary, the conditions maybe improving for him, because the whole thing, that's to me what made me convinced that he was guilty. Well, that's not the only thing, but with the confessions, I should say.
Yeah, the only part I don't like, and I agree with some people, is the fact that none of these other things were explained, like we talked about the other day. Keegan Kline, Anthony Schatz, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's messed up that we haven't gotten
I do agree.
any answers on that, and it didn't put anything together, so to speak. I also was, over the weekend, like when I was thinking, I was looking at things, and I was looking at where the crime scene was, and I was watching Vinnie Politan, and there was a couple things that I wanted to bring up. The crime scene, he said, was a half a mile from the bridge. So I don't know if that includes the whole length of the bridge, but that seems awfully far to me. That they could go a half mile in those woods, through those conditions, tramping through with this man, who's not exactly like the most fit dude. The second thing that Vinny said, said that I thought was very, very important. And he said, and I would pull it up if I could, but this was a year ago that this was on court TV. And Vinny said, I'm analyzing this from a different viewpoint because I want the truth. If I analyze this as a defense attorney, I'm not looking for the truth. I'm looking to poke holes in what the state's evidence is. And I think that people need to keep that into consideration when they watch trials being analyzed by defense attorneys, because it's their nature to look at the evidence and poke. It doesn't mean that the evidence is bad.
That's right.
It's
to cause doubt.
Yes. So they've done a good job of that, in my opinion. Some of these LawTube people have done a really good job of enticing everyone with these little carrots that, these poking these holes in the evidence. And I think that we need to take that into consideration because the jurors are like me and you. They're not like a defense lawyer. They're not trying to poke holes in the state's case. What they're trying to do is find out the truth of what really happened and come to a conclusion. So I thought that was really, really interesting. No shade on lawyers, but you have to consider the source of where you're getting your information and where their mind frame is.
Yeah, because as long as they can create doubt, that's the saving grace for them. That's going to win their case.
Yeah, and fucking YouTube is a big cesspool of people that want to feel bad for killers. They want them to be innocent. How often do you see a trial where the perpetrator is actually innocent? Not very often. And these old cases that keep coming up of people that are exonerated is because they didn't have the tools that they had back then. That's why.
That's true.
For the majority of it nowadays, they have the right perp. It's not very often that they actually have the wrong person. I'm just saying. And I just think we need to keep that viewpoint because YouTube gets in a frenzy, dude. I watched Lawyer hosting Bob Motta this morning, and I thought, I was reading that chat and I was just like, oh my God, these people are just completely, it's like this gang mentality. And if so-and-so says it, if this channel says it, it's gospel.
I think it's also when somebody has emotionally decided on guilty or not guilty on a case, they will purposely listen to, search, or look for things that will support that belief to reinforce their emotions, because it's a very emotional thing anytime somebody, murder, especially when minors and children are involved. And we can't help that. That's in our nature. We want to, why would we go looking for something that doesn't support or follow someone who talks about, playing devil's advocate, things that really challenge their emotional thoughts on it. It is so hard to go into any type of information on a case and just be rational, just have that wise mind, that part where you do have emotion, but you also have the rational thinking, because you want to support what you feel you are feeling. It's feelings. It's not facts. Feelings are not facts. So that's the hardest
and
thing
you know
for
what?
a lot of people to accept.
Yes, and everybody's emotional. They hear he's in isolation. He's isolated. He's got no human contact. Now, it wasn't granted. No, he wasn't in the best condition. And I agree with that. I think that's bullshit. But he had contact. He wasn't truly isolated from all humans. He was making phone calls. He was having a lady visit him every day. That's not isolated. And it makes these lawyers, these defense lawyers that are on YouTube, when they see they can convince their crowd of this reasonable doubt and they all follow and they say, yeah, they didn't prove it. They didn't prove it. Then they feel like they've done their job as well, in my opinion, because they have managed to poke holes enough to get their audience of thousands of people to see those holes as well. But it doesn't mean he's innocent. I just don't like that. We have to be careful, man. These are two little girls. These are two teenage girls who had their throats slit open and bled out. And they're telling you there's no blood underneath Abby. There's a whole pool of blood underneath that girl. And I just can't stand it. I don't want to see hashtag justice for Richard in my chat. Fuck that. Justice for Abby and Libby.
The other thing that I still I have such a hard time as being a child victim myself is when they say there was to make a claim that there was no sexual abuse or there wasn't an essay in there. That to me, you don't need to have, like I said, penetration to be sexually assaulted. You don't need that would be the only thing that would leave evidence behind for that. We don't know how they may have been there, Melissa. And like I said, some of them don't even need to touch someone to do that. And I just don't like how they keep saying that there was nothing sexually that happened. We don't know that. And there's no reason to strip a child like that unless you have that type of motivation. There's no reason other than that.
I agree with you. And I'm disturbed. I'm disturbed that YouTubers are convincing their audience of things that aren't true. I'm very disturbed by that because I am very pro-victim, especially in this case. These are kids.
I don't think they're really convincing them. Like I said, I think they're providing them the information to validate the emotional reaction or the emotional decision that users or watchers are having. When people come to their channel and they are listening to that, they are already convinced, really. They're already ready to believe it because they're listening and they're supporting them. So if they're supporting them, then it's like this give and take. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. It's like they're validating each other. They're helping each other in that sense to remain biased. And
happens in every case. It happens in every.
Oh yeah.
If there's an unsolved case or if there's a case where it's kind of open to discussion where it's not like solidified. People say no DNA, no guilty. No bullshit. You can be
no
guilty
DNA
without a body. You can be found guilty of murder without a body. But Cricket Day has a question, and I want to hear your thoughts. Was the trial for Richard Allen or Libby and Abby? What would you answer? How would you answer that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Was the trial for Richard Allen or for Abby and Libby?
It was for Abby and Libby. It was for justice for them, going over the facts and the jury to decide whether or not these girls, he was the perp. He's the one responsible. It was for them. It was justice for them.
Okay, Uncle Benny, fair enough. You said, however, nothing at all wrong with YouTubers showing there's reasonable doubt. You're right there. But when they start to bring emotions into it and they're hanging out with Kathy Allen and shit, it's beyond just showing reasonable doubt. To me, I feel like that crosses boundaries. And that's all I'm going to say. You guys don't like the mainstream media, but they're not all cozied up with Kathy Allen and the Allen family and the defense team. That bothers me. And maybe I'm wrong for that.
Yeah.
But
No. Yeah. Uncle Benny, I got to say that you're absolutely right. There's nothing at all with YouTubers showing that there's reasonable doubt. There's nothing wrong with that. This is free country, freedom of speech. But there are consequences for when a freedom of speech. You could say whatever you want, but it may have consequences. And for the YouTubers that are I think that what I was trying to communicate or convey is that, like I said, people will go with their emotions and they will seek out information that will validate or confirm the way they're feeling. And it causes even more of a divide, which there's always going to be a divide. But I don't think that Kathy Allen should have gotten such a platform knowing that her husband had confessed as many times. And instead of her asking questions about it and saying why, instead of exploring that to truly find the truth in that, it was like she was protecting. It was like no, don't say that. That's not true. That's not true.
Or she didn't want to hear it. Or she didn't want to hear it.
Of course not, because she was one of his anchors and will continue to be. But if my husband was saying even once said something like that to me, and I've been married 34 years, oh no. I would never cut him off and go, "That's not true. Don't say that." I would be like, "What?" I
Yeah,
would
what do
want to
you
ask
mean?
the
Like
question,
what did you do
right?
exactly? That's what I would have said. What do you mean? What did you do exactly?
Or why would you think that, like if I truly believe that there just was nothing to it, like, or there was an ulterior motive, I would question. I'd be like, wait a minute, why? Which is instead of saying, don't say that, that's not true. That is just bizarre to me to think about. Anyone who I would know, let alone my own husband, tries to confess to me something, I would not my initial response would not be, "No, don't stop talking. Don't say that."
Yeah. But Uncle Benny, the jury spoke. I just think that to say if you think he's guilty, that's your opinion. But now it's the jury's opinion, and that's what matters, you know? I mean, that's the end. That's the end all be all is the jury. And anybody who's emotionally mad because we're discussing, I feel like that's part of the problem is that this emotionally getting invested, we don't know these people. We don't know Kathy Allen. We don't know Rick Allen, but we do know that two little girls were murdered and the jury saw that he did it. And you either accept that or you don't, but to get mad, no one's mad. You know, it is what it is. This is why we follow these cases so we can discuss outcomes and we don't have to agree. But I do think that yes, Benny. He says, wait, they already read the verdict? Yes, he's guilty. He's guilty. And the thing is,
On all
too,
counts.
Jeeper. Why didn't she recognize him in the picture? Was she asked, does this look like your husband? You know?
Well, there are cases of wives that have ignored or just will not come to terms with the truth on their spouses or even husbands with their wives. And a lot of times, being in denial is a protection, that, they just don't want to face the truth of the ugliness of, oh, that might be my husband. That may, as long as they feel safe, they will try to delay it or they ignore it because it's just too much. It's too much. That could be a possibility, but no matter what, I respect everyone's opinions. Everybody has a right to their opinion. I know there are people that are, he is not guilty. This is injustice. This is disgusting. I've seen all the comments. But in the end, we weren't in that courtroom. We did not see and hear everything that the jury did. And it wasn't just one person listening. We had a whole panel.
Well, and that's what
a
I
jury.
wanted to tell everybody is that
Yeah.
I learned a lot last night watching that Tom's thing because Tom had, like I said, 5 people that were in the courtroom that I didn't even know were in the courtroom. So there's more than just a few, at least the ones that have popped up in my algorithm that I've watched. You know what I mean? There were more people than just the defense diaries, Lawyer Lee, Andrea, and the murder sheets that were in that courtroom. There were several others. And I watched a panel last night where this guy did not even ask them what they thought until they came up on panel. And he said, can I get a raise of hands? Who's in the guilty? And the majority of them all raised their hands. And it's not because they want Richard Allen to be guilty because they hate him. It's because they saw the evidence and they believe that he's guilty of killing these 2 girls.
Yes. I think the jury, the fact that they did deliberate longer than what we expected or thought, to me shows a sign that they really did. And they brought him back too to the court. And I believe that they really did come to the right conclusion on it. And like I said, until we can make speculation, we can lead with our emotions or even rational thought, either way. the jury's the only one, and the people that were in that courtroom that really were able to see and process all the evidence and everything else that the state's been holding on to or the defense has been holding on to for this case. So I respect the jury. Even if they would have said not guilty, I would have respected it because I don't know what they heard or saw. I don't know. And so I respect that.
Well, and if there was, Lucid more involved, we know that Keegan Kline was involved somehow because he was speaking to Libby. He's in prison for 40 years. He's not going anywhere. So I don't know how this investigation unfolded, so to speak, with Keegan and all of this. Like, he paid his due. Like, Keegan's not ever going to get out. So
hopefully not.
I mean, I don't think he will, but I'm very troubled. I'm very troubled by one thing that I hope we get some answers to eventually. The photo leak of the crime scene photos a year ago. See, everybody was totally, like, oh, up in arms. They were leaked the other day. Oh, someone leaked the crime scene photos. Did these same people who didn't follow this case a year ago realize that a man named Mitchell Westerman was in the defense attorney's office? He was a friend.
It was his fault.
Yeah, he was a friend and an ex-coworker of the defense. And he went in their office and he took pictures of the crime scene photos and then sent them to someone with the initial R. Sent it to someone else. And then someone else contacted the Murder Sheets podcast and said, hey, these are leaked and I have a problem with this. Right?
I remember that.
So
it was mind blowing.
Yeah. So then we have this R who lives in Fishers, Indiana. The FBI go to ask him about these leaked photos and he kills himself. He kills himself over it. There's got to be more to it. Right? So now we have this Mitchell Westerman whose charges were dropped in the middle of Richard Allen's trial. Why?
Yeah, there's a lot of questions in this. My mind is just still.
I'm blown. I mean, I'm blown.
Can't believe.
I feel relieved though because if he walked and he actually did it, that's terrifying to me. And I don't know. It's a fucked up case. I mean, there's no way about it. It is a mess.
Oh yeah.
Case. Ron Logan's dead. Keegan's in prison, and now Richard Allen's going to go to prison. So did they formulate justice that way? I don't know. I don't know.
I know it's still. I'm still. My mind is really towards the jurors and the families and the victims of this. It's just.
I mean, we heard from all the people
about them.
We heard all the people in there saying, this is a very smart jury. They're asking great questions. They're educated. I heard Bob Mata say this morning, these jurors are not dumb. They're very educated. So we can't all of a sudden make them uneducated because they came to, a conclusion that we don't agree with. And Richard Allen worked at Walmart for 10 years. So there were ex-employees that worked for him. There was a lady actually that did an interview, and she said, for all intents and purposes, take it for what it's worth, that he was creepy. That if a woman was on a ladder, he would happen to come around. I don't know how true it is. Mighty Marsha, that's fine. See your way out. You remember why you don't watch me? Why? I mean, see, that's just immature. We can't discuss this.
Isn't that the whole platform for justice? Is both sides?
That's not.
There's I mean, there's always going to be people in any case that are on either side of it. That's yeah.
I mean, all I've pretty much said is that, I'm all for justice for Abby and Libby, and that's who this should be about. I feel like it was complete and utter bullshit that the TV was turned for Richard Allen to not be humiliated in front of the public, but Libby's naked body is sprawled out for the whole fucking courtroom to see. No, I don't like that. And it wasn't Paul Edders, Cricket.
Yes.
It was not. That's a different guy. That's not the photo leak guy.
Yeah. And the bottom line is that we having you can see the emotion in the people's reactions, or the chatters, the ones who are for or against. There's just a lot of emotion, and maybe we all just need to soak this in and give ourselves a moment
Sorry.
to rationally. Oh, your dogs want to weigh in. Your dogs have an opinion. There's going to be always a divide on it, and there certainly are. I'm not trying. I don't want to shame anyone who believes differently than me. I respect, like I said, your opinion on it, but I'm not trying to encourage any hate or any just anything negative towards people that feel differently. Hopefully, anything that I say will awaken the rational thinking of this whole case. And I want to say on the Odinism, the cult theories, I could think of so many cases where the perp purposely tried to set up, stage, or make it look like there was a cult aspect to the motive behind what they did, but it was debunked and figured out to be not true. And I don't really see anybody, from what I've seen, every time someone does see the crime scene photos that were leaked, they immediately say, oh, this is staged, which is exactly what I thought too. But staged for what? To throw off the intent and what happened, to maybe direct it towards a group such as Odinites? Or is this truly something that is cult related? But it seems like all of that, from the information that I saw, that was debunked, and that was not. It was clearly not random. Like, I will stick to, I believe that the way it was set up, I had said this to you the last time I was on the panel, that I believe the way that it angled down into a V to her private area, and the way that it was put across her upper chest, was in a way to emphasize those areas, to further humiliate the victim, because there are other cases like that where they have done things like that. I truly believe that was the true intent behind it. And just throwing sticks on a body, or putting sticks on a body, is kind of, in my mind, a statement to degrade them, like they're trash, like they're just, foliage on the ground. Just they're not. It's to further push the fact that they're just like dirt on the ground, like nothing. In my mind, that's what I saw when I looked at it. And I am no expert on anything regarding this. I just love true crime, and I like to delve into, especially the psychology behind things, the criminology side of it, like what makes people do this, or what happens in the course of trying to figure out why and how, and then getting justice.
Well, and
So,
especially with Richard Allen, because he's got no prior record, which throws everybody off, right? And
you don't need a prior record.
like I was
Look at BTK. Look at all these people who
Right.
have these prestigious positions in the community and with their families and their social circles, and they're just like, what? How could that be? That doesn't matter if you have a previous record or not. That just means you're real careful about,
right, but it's just
exposing
odd.
who you really are.
It's odd though to have someone go 50 years and never. I mean, but then again, we don't know if Kathy has found things or thought things or felt a certain way certain times. You know what I mean? Like, little things that maybe she ignored or shoved under the
Did you ever
rug.
watch that show, Who the Bleep Did I Marry? Did you ever watch
Yes.
that? Okay, there you go. We have plenty of episodes of examples of true cases, of true facts, where the spouses in that show there were red flags and things, but they trusted their partner to explain it away, or they didn't want to think that that was possible, because facing something so horrible, a truth like that, can cause a person to just snap or break down, like your whole world, especially when you've been with someone for that long. The guilt you would feel yourself, like, why didn't
Yeah, I mean, you
how
have a
many times
child
did
with
we
this
see that?
person, you have a daughter. And what
And
else was
another
interesting that I heard was that
Yeah.
during the daughter, okay, when the daughter was there, she did not make eye contact with her dad once. She looked straight ahead. She also was out in the hallway and was not near her mother. So could one take from that there's some trife there? Maybe. Maybe not. But
I think about the difference between her and BTK's daughter and how she still believed her dad was innocent. She still, stood by him
Mhm.
up until the evidence, the pictures of
yeah,
him,
I've got my thoughts
literally.
on BTK's daughter
Yeah.
myself, but she's
Yeah,
a whole
and,
mess herself, in my opinion. But
yeah, and when I think of, like, other children whose parents were the perp, and it was a factual that they too have to go through that process. And there's another show called Evil Lives Here, and it's on ID, where it's the victims and the families that tell the stories. And there are a lot of cases in there where they they feel so much guilt afterwards, because they're like, why didn't I notice? I could have saved this, or I could have stopped this sooner. And a lot of them talk about how their spouse or the person, their family member, their brother, their sister, or whatever, that they would believe what they would say, or they would do something to make them feel better about it, and it would dispel or neutralize their doubt or their fears, because we don't want to be afraid of something. We don't want to have to face the ugly truth of something, especially someone we love, and especially someone that you might feel some guilt with or shame with, that, it's natural for us
well, look at
to
Chris Watts'
reject that.
parents. Chris Watts' parents did
Oh,
not want to
ugh,
believe it.
Cindy. Oh, no.
I mean, I've met Mr. Watts, and it's
Yeah.
just no one wants to believe that their kid would do anything like that, So you got to take that into consideration as well.
Yeah, there was a case with the Paul who had started all the fires. He was an arsonist, and when his family the parents realized, oh my God, when they saw the composite sketch, that was Paul. They knew that was their son, and they had talked about how they had to pray on it, and they had to do some real deep thinking about whether or not to turn him in. And they were a very religious family. But there is even them who it's unless we have a family member that we're in a situation like that, we can only speculate and try to make sense of why a family member would not turn them in. But I remember watching that episode and reading about that and thinking, what do you mean you had to pray on it? What?
Yeah, I mean, I
He
can't
killed people.
I can't
I just don't
imagine.
get it.
I can't imagine like my family member being, someone like Richard Allen. That would be extremely hard. And, I'm glad that there were people there that, his wife felt not alone. But on the other hand, we've got Abby and Libby's family, and we've got the same people who are talking to Kathy, never spoke to them. Like, I don't know. It's weird to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, and we can speculate all the time, but the truth is that we just truly don't know. And like I said, there are so many cases out there that follow the formula of this, that we can watch or learn or read about. But in the end, it's just these things are just so
You
complicated.
know what will be really
And
interesting,
yeah.
Jeeper, is
Hmm?
if these jurors talk. I would
I
love
believe
to.
they will.
I mean, I don't. You think they will?
Oh yeah, this is a big case, and I do believe that they will. Not all of them, but there will be some that will come forward because I believe the reason why I believe that is because they're the ones that are in the court. They're the ones exposed to all this. But not only that, they had to experience the family reactions too, and they were there with the families feeling it as much as them. So it does stick with them, and I believe either way, though, that they decided that he was guilty, and they are either going to stick by that, or maybe somewhere down the line they might change their mind, get emotionally
Well, what would
involved in something like
what
that.
would be
But the reason
interesting to
why,
me is if they, start looking at old footage and they go, "Wait a minute.
yeah,
Why weren't we introduced to this or why weren't we introduced to that?"
and that's why I believe that they are going to talk, because they are part of the reason they had made those that decision, and they were exposed to all those things, and they're going to want to set the record straight, or maybe support the people who believe that he's innocent, that they will get involved with that because of that, because they ultimately have they've had both a curse and a privilege to to have all this knowledge. So,
Uncle
I
Benny,
believe they will.
Uncle Benny has a question. This is for everybody in chat if you want to answer, and you too, Regina
Mhm.
and Cheaper. He said, "Would anyone feel good about the verdict if there was no confession?"
No.
No.
No, and I think that would apply to any case, because a confession like this as many times, and the whole process behind it, that was what secured it for me. And I would say that would be relative to any case. There was a lot of circumstantial evidence, but when you tie in everything as a whole, to me, that he's definitely guilty. But yeah, that confession was it for me, especially how many times, who he was saying it to, and comparing it to previous cases that, like I said, that kind of follow the same formula. So yeah, I do. That was for me. Yep.
It's a good question.
Okay. So I have a little bit of insight whenever it comes to family members of dealing with people like this. I grew up, I used to babysit I've known her since she was 5 years old, Deborah Brashers. I knew Rose, my biological father, had an intimate relationship with Rose Brashers. And Rose is the wife of Robert Eugene Brashers, an American serial killer. He lived in Arkansas, and my dad ended up even having a relationship with Robert Brashers. And I'm going to tell you something. Robert Brashers was committing felonies that the family knew about, and they were actually protecting him. They went so far as to go buy a rug to sneak him in the house. He wore a disguise whenever they were in Kennett, Missouri, which is where Robert Brashers ended his life in a hotel room, because the cops had found out he had a fictitious plate, and that's what they went to question him about, and that's all it was over. They didn't even know he was a serial killer then. Um, Whenever he ended his own life in that hotel room, it left questions for everybody. Why would he kill himself? Sorry, end his life over a fictitious license plate. And whenever police officers knocked on Deborah's door, she called me the day it happened. She said, because she calls me sis, because, I've known her since she was 5. And we are more like sisters. She said, um, cops out of, I don't remember what state it was, but cops just came out and got my dad's DNA, or got my DNA so they could compare it, because the database hit and they think my dad is Mr. Maroon, the serial killer. And I was like, Deborah, I already know he is, because I had my own experience with him. These people will do things, and people will come out. If Richard Allen, um, if this is the kind of person he is and he did this, and he has been convicted of this, and we have to respect A jury of 12 people found him guilty of this with what they seen, even though we couldn't. Then there will be people come out and they will tell you things, like it'll come out in the woodwork, like certain things that come out about Robert Brasher's. His behavior there will be telltale signs, but families never accept it, especially wives, I've come to find out, because while Deborah is so different than her dad, and her dad terrified me. When I was babysitting Deborah, he showed up and he wasn't supposed to be there. And Rose was at the grocery store, and I was with the girls, his twin stepdaughters, April and Angela, and I was with his daughter Deborah watching them on a house on Lake Street in Paragould, Arkansas. And he showed up and he wasn't supposed to be there during that time.
Sorry, I have an
And he was-
update on the Allen thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is new. Sorry, Regina. The case will remain sealed until next month when he is sentenced. If you guys want to mute, I'm going to play this clip really quick from WTHR. This is some new info on sentencing and the family members of Abby and Libby. So let's get this up. Okay. All right, here we go. This is just a few minutes long.
Emily, who was just on the other side of the courthouse where state police and some family members came out and made some comments, and she joins us now with, first of all, what state police said, and then let's talk about the family.
Yeah, state police saying at this point they're not going to make any comment because Judge Gall has not lifted the gag order on this case. They said that they will be making statements next month after sentencing, but for right now, they don't have anything to say because that gag order is still in place.
And then Richard Allen's wife came out.
Richard Allen's wife, Kathy Allen, came out. She was crying and she just said to the media, this isn't over at all. That was her one indication. And then we had a close family friend of, I believe, Libby German coming out, and she was talking about pushing for legislation to prohibit crime scene photos from being released online behind some kind of paywall, from being able to pay to see graphic crime scene photos. And as you know, it was in the past week that we had seen someone somehow had leaked photos of
What
the
about
girls,
last year,
at
y'all?
the crime scene, and just terrible photos. And so the families want to work on some kind of law to prohibit this from happening, because that just added to the tragedy of this, I think, for them to see their children out there in the public forum like that, and to think that someone was paying to see such a gruesome scene. They want something done about it so that no other families have to go through that.
Who charged?
Certainly very
Never heard that.
Pictures, and just only adding to the pain that the families have
absolutely
had
let's
to
take.
experience and endure.
You know what?
Any sense from police did that?
This pisses me off about the mainstream media. Let's take that up with Mitchell Westerman, shall we? What is she talking about behind a paywall? Who had them behind a paywall, number one? And number two, these were leaked a year ago by some creepazoid named Mitchell Westerman. What are they talking about?
A sense of state police feeling vindicated, or were they very stoic?
Stoic. They did not say. I mean, a spokesperson came out and said, this is going to be real short. We don't have much to say. Judge Gall has not lifted the gag order, but we're going to be happy to comment. We'll put something together next month after sentencing. And that was it.
So Bob and I were continuing to talk about what his observations were in the courtroom, and you were able to walk around the courthouse and get a little bit of a sense of what the scene is right now. What were you able to observe?
Well, interesting, as I was going over to that gathering over there, a woman was holding up a sign that said, the only crime here is the crime from police and the prosecution and, the state. So, so there are some people that think that this was the wrong decision, and they're vocal about that and holding up their signs. But I would say the majority of folks here very pleased.
Yes, Samantha Johnson is also here, and she's been talking and getting some community reaction and joins us now. Sam, what have you been able to learn from the people that you've talked to?
Well, Anne Marie, I am currently at the location Emily was just at a few moments ago. We've heard from several community members. We heard from state police, as Emily mentioned too. I want to tell you too, so many of the people who are here waiting for this verdict have been here for weeks. So many of them have been camped out day and night to be one of the first to hear the verdict. We talked to a woman, her name is Sarah. She lives here in Delphi. She says she's a family friend of the girls, and she told us today is the day, right? That phrase, we've continued to hear that for years now. And we talked to her just a moment ago. She said she could have almost bust with excitement because she said today is finally the day. Take a listen. You said, I've been praying.
I have been praying. I said, as you know, we usually had 4 or 5 of us, just a few signs to show respect to the girls and what this community has went through for the past 7.5 years. Today is a new day. Today is that day. The day they can start healing. Today's that day that those families can start the healing process. This part is done. So as a community, now they get to heal all together. This community and the surrounding communities and counties surrounded them. Also, big shout out to law enforcement. They came from everywhere around Indiana. You couldn't tell what department, but they were so cohesive together.
Thank you
They
for the birthday
blended
wishes,
well.
guys.
You didn't see the division in the rank or anything. They protected this county, and now this county needs to heal.
Now, as
Thank
we
you,
know,
Army
there
Mom.
are obviously two sides to this case. And like Emily mentioned a second ago, we saw Richard Allen's family walk right through these doors, one of them hand in hand with defense attorney Brad Rosie, Andrew Baldwin, Jennifer Auger, also walking out with Richard Allen's family. His mom crying, his wife Kathy crying. And then as she passed us, she said, this isn't over at all. Of course, much more to come here in Delphi. Anne Marie and Emily, we're going to stay on this side.
Okay, so what do you got? What do you guys think? His wife coming out saying this ain't over.
Well, of course she's going to say that because that's been her stance from the very from the very beginning of this. And like I said, if you go back and you think about other cases where the family will defend the perp or the guilty offender, no matter what, and a lot of times it's because their relationship with them was either completely opposite of what people are trying to accuse them of, or it's because they just are in denial because to have to accept that, to have to process that is just too much. There's so many different ways you can go with that. But Regina, I love your accent. I wish I had an accent. I love listening to
Oh
anyone
my
talk
goodness.
who has an
Oh,
accent.
I'm
Regina,
embarrassed.
you're from Alabama,
Oh,
right?
I love it.
No, I'm from Arkansas.
Oh, you're
But I
Arkansas.
live,
Okay.
yes, but the reason my accent is actually even heavier than where I'm from, Northeast Arkansas, is because I spent years managing hotels on the southern Gulf Coast in Mississippi, and it kind of like I got more southern, I guess.
It's so charming. We're talking about such a dark, gruesome, emotionally charged topic, and I just I just love your accent.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm blushing.
This yeah,
Um,
this yeah, I just want to also say real quick, I have so much respect and empathy for you, and thank you so much for talking and sharing this with us. I can't even imagine. So you're an inspiration. So personally, thank you.
well, I feel like by sharing the things that I've gone through, it might warn someone else out there that has someone like this in their life, um,
I
to
agree.
speak up, to actually speak up. Because I'll tell you what Robert Brasher said to me, and I believed it so hardcore. I was babysitting the day that I was telling you about. He was looking out the windows and acting paranoid and everything. Um, and then I'll tell you what day that was, and it's now knowing everything that I know, looking back, like I kind of feel like I'm a survivor, to be honest with you. Um, because I was babysitting those girls and he showed up and he wasn't supposed to be there. He assaulted one of the twins that day. I can't remember if it was April or Angela, but I actually had to fight this man. Uh, what happened is I was babysitting the girls, and he was acting crazy and paranoid. He had the news on. He was looking out the windows. He kept telling us, "Shut up! I'm trying to hear," just freaking out, right? And so I took the girls to their bedroom. They had bunk beds. And I was sitting on the bottom bunk, and boy, here comes Robert in behind us, looking out the window. And he props his arm up against the wall, and he's looking out the um, manila blinds, you call them vanilla blinds or whatever, manila blinds. He
Yes.
has it lifted up, looking out the window. And he's like, "I wish y'all would just shut up." And I'm like, "We're trying to be as quiet as we can. That's why I brought him in here." And he looked at me, and what he said to me and the look he gave me, I knew my life was in danger. Okay. He said, "I'd like to shut that pretty little mouth of yours up for good." And the
Oh
hair
God.
on the back of my neck stood up so hardcore, and it shot straight down to the bottom of my feet. And it's like it carried me off the bottom bunk of that bed straight into the kitchen. And this was before cell phones were a thing. Okay. Like they had car phones, but they really didn't have, the cell phones unless you were really rich. And because this was in the 90s. And I went straight into the kitchen, and I took the receiver off the wall, and I dialed my parents and said, "Come get me right now. I need you, Mom and Dad." I was bawling at that point. I said, "I need you to come and get me." And then Robert, by that point, was in crazy mode, and he was dragging one of the twins, his stepdaughters, back into the bedroom of Rose's bedroom, right? And I'm fighting with him, pulling her, trying to pull him away from her. And he has her by the pinky, and it breaks her pinky. But I get her free of him, and I get her in the bedroom, and I shut the door. And boy, here comes Rose, and she's she's mad as all get out. And she freaks out. And then my biological father ends up showing up because he's just down the road, and one of their friends. And I'm adopted, so that's why I say my biological father. He's the one that had the active relationship with Rose. I knew my biological parents growing up, but my adopted parents come and they picked me up, and I told them on the way home what they had said. And when my biological father found out what Robert Brasher said to me, he actually hit him in the head with a drill gun so hard it sent him to the hospital. Um, but there were warning signs. And even after the DNA come back on Robert Brasher's that he was in fact the serial killer that killed Jenny Zutricki and the Shears, and the thing is, they know there are more victims of Roberts out there. There's cases he's linked to in Indiana and all over the place. Possible out of Louisiana, they've got cases he could be linked to, and cases in Florida. Just Alabama, it's everywhere. Um, and he's suspected in these cases, but they haven't been proven yet. But even with the DNA evidence proving that he had assaulted that little girl in Memphis, that he had brutally murdered the Sears and killed Jenny Zutricki, his wife Rose, till the day she died, said she did not believe it. But because she was alive even after we got the DNA and stuff back, she died not too long after that.
And still didn't
But
believe
the
it?
craze still didn't believe it. And this is the thing. I used to paint her fingernails, and I was sitting on her front porch with her. She had a little table, and I was sitting out there painting her nails on the porch one day. And my mama told me, she was talking about Robert. And this is what she told me. She said, "My mama told me whenever I met Robert, I let the devil in." And still she denied it to the day she died in the hospital with the DNA evidence and everything that Robert Brasher's was in fact a serial killer. And
Wow.
she married, listen, here's the crazy part. She married him so that she didn't have to testify against him, because he had broken into another woman's house right there in Paragould and cut her telephone wires and stuff. And um, Rose actually got detained because she went to go get the gun that Robert had snuck into the woman's garage and put the gun up under her car tire. And he told Rose about it and sent her to go get, and she
Jesus.
still denied to the day he died, Jade, that he was a serial killer. But his daughter, she knew it in her heart. She called
So
me
sad.
the day the detectives left her house to get her DNA to compare to, and then they ended up even exhuming him. So not one genealogical link, but 2 genealogical links plus exhumation for 100% identification. And Rose still denied that he was a
Unreal.
serial killer.
Wow. The denial is
Absolutely.
real.
It is very real.
That is
And
nuts.
That's crazy.
You guys
Yeah.
continue chatting. I got a delivery that I have to go grab.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay. Regina, maybe do you ever think that it's codependency or it's could be a disorder that causes such a fear of abandonment? Codependency is such a crazy strong thing that they cannot be happy unless their partner is happy. They cannot feel good unless their partner is. There is a true issue with codependency in cases like this where the spouse or the family member is in denial. And I can't imagine you going through that. That just, it gave me goosebumps when you were telling it. And like I said, I appreciate your vulnerability and then your transparency about this, because it is, people need to hear stories like this, especially when there's red flags involved. Because I do believe, because I've been a victim of a lot of crimes too, that the more you talk about it, the less power it has. And then also it can't, I feel like that's the only thing that gives it purpose. You got to put purpose in it. And especially when you experience something awful, it's like, what is the purpose? How can I turn this into something valuable, or just like do some good with it, even though it's bad? And telling your story and helping other people identify the red flags truly can save somebody that a situation where they find themselves in, or what to do, which is why I love shows like Evil Lives Here and Who the Bleep Did I Marry and all of those, because they all have just laid out what the red flags were all along. And by them being brave and being transparent like that, they truly are, I mean, it's appreciated. And I just want you to know how much empathy I have for you and
Oh my
respect, and thank
God.
you.
I've got tons of
What'd you get, Jay? What'd you get?
I gotta open these.
Birthday stuff.
Holy.
Yay.
I feel so spoiled. I went out there, I'm like, oh my God. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I didn't.
No, not at
No,
all.
that's awesome. It's your birthday, girlfriend.
Go, Shody. It's your birthday.
Birthday.
We need some interruptions with some good,
Okay.
some fun, exciting things.
Did I come
right?
Did I come back at an okay time though? I don't want to be rude.
Oh no,
What
I
are
was
you
just
even talking
absolutely.
about?
I was just expressing my personal appreciation for what Regina is doing and her transparency, and how it may truly help somebody else, even to come forward and talk about something that's so uncomfortable. You could be inspiring someone and giving them that strength to do that. That's all
agree.
I was saying, Jay.
I agree. This is from Potato. It's the positive Potato look. She always keeps me positive.
Oh,
So
is it a little crocheted potato?
it is, and it has headphones.
Oh, cute.
And it says
I got
positive
it, yeah.
potato. I may be a tiny potato, but I believe in you. Go do your thing.
I got
That's
something like
awesome.
that when I started my chemo treatment. I got something like that from
Thank you
a
so
family
much,
member.
Potato.
It's so cute.
So cute. The little potato's gonna have to go by the astronaut. I got to keep it out of Summer's reach though, because anything like this, I think Robin actually sent me a positive potato, and now I'm having to admit this to her on a live stream that Summer freaking chewed it, because I had a potato before and it was like a year ago. But isn't that cute? So I have to make sure I keep this one out of Summer's reach, because she should be smiling. Look, she has a straight face. It's so damn cute. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Aw, but you still have the other potato, right?
No.
That
The
means
dog
it's,
chewed
oh,
it.
I started to say,
So
that just means it's got character.
I know. I had no, she literally, I mean, you've seen the size of my dog. And I was like, oh my God. And I think it was like a good luck potato. And I'm like, oh, I can't say anything because then I'll have bad luck. I know. Summer's naughty. Sorry, Robin. I didn't have the heart to tell her. And now I just did. Okay, who's this one from? This one is also from the Positive Potato. Ah, she got me a beanie. Yay! You guys are going to see me in these beanies. Isn't that cute? It's a slouchy beanie. Thank you so much. Potato. That baked potato. I love it. It's super soft. Thank you so much. Gosh, I feel spoiled as hell.
With your hair, Jay, you are going to rock that beanie.
I know. I can't wait. That's for
Rocket girl.
That's for bad hair days. All right. We've got a box now. I don't know. This could be something I ordered myself because you can't tell. I know. Poor Robat. I'm going to get her a Robat potato. Oh. Who is this from? Nope. Definitely did not buy this myself. See, I put stuff on my Amazon wish list of stuff I normally wouldn't. I'd be like, I like that. I want that. But I wouldn't buy that, you know? Because I'm cheap like that. This is from Kels. Another one from Kels. She spread them out, y'all. I got my Hey Dudes. My first pair of Hey Dudes. You're what the French call les incompetents. Thank you so much, Kels. Let's see. Are they cute or what? Check it. Love them. Love them. I cannot wait to wear them. Thank you so much. I'm all about comfort. That is so sweet. Hey, dude. They always look so comfy. And my son and daughter-in-law and my granddaughter have Hey Dudes. And I'm like, I put them on at their house and I'm like, they're so comfy. Thank you so much, Kels. We've got one more. Oh,
I love those. Those are so cute, Jay.
thank you.
Kels, that's awesome.
I know.
Girl, those are so cute. I would rock those. Those are cute.
They look comfortable.
They do. Oh, what do we got here? Amazon in their big boxes. Oh, we've got more writing utensils. Who is this from? Oh, this is from Flo. This is another one from Flo. I got legal pads, even though I'm not a lawyer. And a whole bunch of Sharpie S-Gel pens. The Andrea pen, made famous by Andrea Burkhart during the Delphi trial. The infamous Sharpie S-Gels. These are fancy ones, though. Let me show you. These are actually metal barrel. I'm going to become a pen connoisseur. I couldn't stop thinking about them after I heard her talking about her pens, and I love me a good medium gel pen. And I thought, got to try these.
That's my favorite too because they are the smoothest.
They're amazing. I could just sit there and doodle, you know. But these are the metal barrel. These are pretty. They're like a rose gold, and then look at, we also have the white. Check it. They're beautiful. Thank you so much, you guys. Spy pens. Yeah, I'm gonna be like Bets. Or no, that wasn't Bets that did that. Who was that? Was that Molly Golightly who put the fucking pen on her bra and went into the Wells Church? Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, these are great gifts. Oh yeah, nice pens. Love it. Hey, Jeff Kent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But wasn't that Molly or wasn't that Molly? You guys are amazing. Thank you for all the gifts and happy birthday wishes. Woo! I know. I just want to doodle. You probably. Oh, it was Molly Golightly. Yeah. Whatever. Same difference. Same difference. The verdict was guilty on all counts. Premeditated love. Richard Allen was found guilty. Okay. Are you ladies still there?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for letting me do that. Okay. Thank you guys so much. I'm overwhelmed. I don't handle this kind of stuff well, if you can't tell. I was like, I felt funny even putting in the dang description, it's my birthday. I felt like funny. Would you guys feel that same way?
Yeah, no, because we as much we need to celebrate life, and you need to celebrate um your being able to pass another year, especially look at all these cases that we deal with or we uh follow.
True.
We got to be grateful for having that gift of another year. So I think you absolutely should. And you are giving back so much and putting so much time into sharing with other people and giving to other people that I think you absolutely deserve it.
Well, I appreciate that. I guess.
I think it's a
Go ahead,
I
Regina.
think it's a blessing just getting to watch you celebrate being loved by the people around
Aw.
you on your birthday. So, I mean, that's always, I mean,
Well, I
what is a
encourage.
birthday but to celebrate life?
Well,
And
right.
it's a
And
blessing
I
to be able to watch
encourage
that.
everybody, when every first of the month, every month, I'm like, okay, birthday babies. Because too many people, in my opinion, blow off their birthdays and be like, oh, it's just another year or, it doesn't matter. And I don't want anybody to feel that way. I feel like it does matter because especially in these crazy times, man, every time we make
Right?
it another year, it's something to be celebrated, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Flo says, "Oh, good. You're off. Or glad your office supplies came." Yes, thank you so much. I guess we have to do the birthday song for me, so let's do it right now. Right, meow.
Go, shorty. It's your birthday.
Happy birthday to me and everybody else. I saw there was a couple I share birthdays with. Hey, Misfit Cooter. Thank you. Thank you, Chad. Yes, Jeff Kenny says, be grateful. Tomorrow's never promised. Celebrate. And if someone is willing to celebrate you, I guess, thank them for that. And I thank all of you guys for being here to celebrate me. That makes me feel really special. Thank you, Candy Wrapper. Makes me feel super special, guys. And you know what, Regina and Jeeper, you make me feel super special that you came up on panel today. Appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. I'm so
Aw.
glad to have the opportunity.
You know what my plan was? Because I
was
obviously
just-
had no idea that this verdict was going to be coming out, right? So I'm getting ready. I'm like, okay, we're going to do verdict watch and then we'll do like the birthday stream. I'll open the gifts, stuff like that. And then I'm like, we'll have panel and we'll just stay live. And I was thinking if the jury goes home at 4, we'll just call it a day and, wait till tomorrow to see what tomorrow brings. And then right before I was getting ready to go live, it's like, Jay, the verdict's in. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm really grateful for you guys to come up and chit chat, even though it was kind of a crazy, I'm sure you guys could have been watching anybody who was in that courtroom and you were here instead with me. And I can't say how grateful I am for that.
I'm grateful for the opportunity and that if there's anything that I was able to add that made anyone, feel entertained or happy or maybe was thought provoking, that's good enough for me. One person is one more person. So yeah, no, I'm very grateful. Thank you for providing this platform.
Aw, Well, this platform, on the other hand, turns 6 this month. So in a couple more weeks, I think it's like November. I think it's like the 28th or something when I actually first did my first stream on YouTube. So it would have been 2018.
That's awesome.
2018. Isn't that crazy? Where
It is,
you know,
especially everything that's happened since then.
Geez. It's true story. It's crazy town.
I wish I could stay longer, but I got to take my dogs out.
Oh, I
and,
understand. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah,
though.
and thank you so much. And I just feel there's not very many wins, but this to me feels like a win. And I am sorry to the ones who believe it's injustice, and I hope that you're able to process it as healthy as you can. And for the people who believed he was guilty, woohoo! So, but Regina, it was very nice to meet you too, and I just love your accent. I wish I had one. You ever watch Charlie Brown, and when the adults talk, it's like wah 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 wah. Yeah, that's how I feel I sound when I talk because I don't have an accent.
You don't.
I wish I did.
You don't sound like that at all.
No, but you have good character in your expression in your voice, Jay. So it makes up
Yes.
for it. So yeah. But thank you so much, ladies, and I wish you all the best, and hopefully I can come back.
Oh, absolutely. Don't be a stranger just because this case is over.
Oh no, I'm always following a case.
So
I always have an opinion too.
So what's
Jeeper, it
next
was
on your
so-
agenda? Like, what are you keeping your eye on, Jeeper? Now that this one is
Oh my
concluded.
God. Brian Koberger.
Yep.
That one is a big one. And then the Sarah Boone one just got
Yep.
over, which oh God, I laugh when I watch those.
She's crazy,
interrogation
right?
tapes.
She's crazy.
Not intentional. Not intentional.
She's a
Like-
trip.
Like it's not intentional when a drunk driver gets in the car.
Yo,
They're not
I
intending
have
to kill anyone.
I have merch.
right?
I have Boone merch. She was so entertaining. I mean,
Her
hate to
facial
admit it, but
expression.
damn, she is a trip and a half.
I know.
I meant
know,
to
but
say
think
too,
that-
speaking of Boone, I did get something. I requested some public records and I got her commissary
Mhm.
receipt. And unfortunately, it doesn't tell me what she bought, but it shows me her balance and it shows me who's putting money on her books. And her brother is actually putting money on her books. Was one of them, and then she's got some chicks that live there in Orlando that are, I don't know who they are, friends maybe, but yeah, it's not really too juicy, not enough to go live with, like just that.
Yeah.
But it was kind of interesting to know that her brother is giving her some money.
Yeah. Like we were just talking about the family members that support. But I'm also following the Madeline Soto case, which is
Oh yeah, huge.
just oh God, especially being a victim
Oh,
of
girl.
abuse myself. It just I have to take the information from that.
Take a
and
break
chunks.
and take yes.
Yeah, in chunks. and then
Girl, I'm
process
not
it
even a
because it's
survivor,
triggering.
and I can't go over that case, but once in a while. And
Oh,
I'm
that
not
is
even a
so
survivor of any kind of abuse, so my heart goes out to you and everybody who's ever been affected that way. I can't imagine. I give you props for even following shit like that. I think that I don't know if I'd have it in me to follow it. I think that it would
Yeah.
be too upsetting to me.
But you know what? Like I said yesterday, the whole reason why I follow cases like this is because the victims deserve their story to be told and to be and the empathy that I feel for them. And also I follow these cases because I want to know how the ones that do survive or have lived or are currently living with it, how do they do that? What what makes them be able to keep going on, and how where do they find renewed strength, or how do they process it? And then the families who's actually have lost, or loved ones that have actually lost these victims, how do they do it too? And then I love to see justice done, and like I said, their stories told and their names not forgotten. I think that is why I follow them. And yes, the details are gruesome, but out of respect, like I said, they lived through it. So to hear it is humbling in so many ways, because my experiences were nothing compared to, I'm still alive. I wasn't brutalized in a way that a lot of these victims are. And that's why I follow it and why I'm passionate about
That
it.
makes sense.
So,
And it must be a little more, it must be, or, maybe I should ask, is it a little comforting to know that things are kind of, taking a different road than they used to 20 years ago, and the fact that
oh yeah, and you
victims,
could ask me anything. I mean, I anything you want to ask. I'm
I just
completely
find it
open.
fascinating in a way to see how far we've come. I mean, look at the Menendez brothers are going to get out of jail. Um, we've just come so far in a society, and we're all different ages here. My viewers have such a broad age range that I think we
Mhm.
all kind of, process things, and we're all in different uh, generations where we
Oh,
view things
yes.
differently in the change. And I, for one, think that I'm in
Absolutely.
the best generation. The Gen Xers are by far the coolest generation ever. But I have to give props to that younger generation for being the more sensitive generation, for being the one to be more victim focused. So,
Yeah, you make such wonderful points, and I do have to say, as bad as the COVID was and the pandemic, it was also one of the best things that could have happened in some regards, because it opened the door for, mental health resources to be more accessible. You could have, all of your sessions, you could join groups, you didn't have to travel to get the help, and you could be more, private about it. And then people started opening up more. The stigma of mental health was, I think, removed or lessened because of the pandemic, and because we had that. Like I said, I have uh, gotten a 5150 twice before because of all the things that I've been through. And when I went through the mental health system, it was it was in 2015 and 2016. And at that time, you had to be hospitalized, or what they call a PHP, which is a partial hospitalization plan, where you're there Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And if you don't, the sheriff comes for you. And while you're there, you can't have access to your keys and things like that, and you cannot leave until you've been checked out and you're okay to go. And you have to write out every time that you leave what you're going to do, who you're going to be with, what your plans are, and you have to have a plan to go home. And then on the weekends you have to do the same thing, which I was grateful for, because then I didn't have to be in there full time. But that's the way it was, and I would have to travel back and forth. And also, there was, if I did want to have some privacy about it, I didn't, because everybody was aware, of my going back and forth, or just all of that. So when the pandemic happened, I no longer, when I did have really bad times, I didn't have to do that driving. I didn't have to do that travel. I didn't have to be in a room with other people, especially in the group sessions. Sometimes you just don't want to do that. But opening up this online resource and way to connect, oh my God, it's so wonderful to be able to do that and have your own, in the comfort of your own home, in your own space. Because sometimes that sterile medical environment for people, when they're actually in a room with everybody, it's intimidating, and it feels kind of cold, and there's no way to escape or have something. What I mean escape is not escape like the actual program, but I mean just to be able to just step out of that environment and get grounded again, not like you can when you're at home and you have access to maybe a stuffed animal or a blanket or an animal, one of your pets, to help ground you to get through it. You're more successful that way. So even though the pandemic was really bad, I think that that's really great. And I do agree that I've seen such a change in a lot of things because people are able to access more freely, and more openly. Look at online too. There's so many free groups that people can communicate or have
Yeah.
these meetings.
I guess that's a good
Yeah,
thing,
it's
is to look at like a positive side of social media, is that,
Mhm.
people can find, resources. But I
And
really
share
do. I
too.
I agree with all of those. Those are excellent points you made. I don't know how old you are. I'm not gonna ask you that,
Oh
but
no, I could tell you. I was born in 1971.
you're
So
older than me.
yes, I
Girl,
know.
I
And
was
you know,
okay. I was gonna guess you for like early 30s.
you know why? It's because I believe that a lot of times, because people say that I sound a lot younger, and I do act like
Totally. I would have
I
never.
totally act a lot younger. It's because my childhood, I had to grow up so fast. Sometimes I think because my abuse started when I was 5. I think that I'm eternally a child in a lot of ways because of that. I got frozen at that state.
Yeah.
So, oh, I'm a big
I'm
goofball. I
so
will, oh
sorry
my
that
God.
that was your experience, but
Oh, that's
I
okay.
love your
I appreciate
insight.
it.
I think that you're
Thank you.
definitely inspirational, and I would
Oh,
love
thank
to
you. That
have you
means
up
so
here
much.
anytime. Anytime.
Oh, definitely. I will. I definitely, because I'm still recovering from breast cancer and chemo and radiation,
Oh,
all that stuff.
damn.
So I'm home a lot.
You
So
did
that's
say the
how.
other day that you had chemo brain, and I wasn't
Oh, I
gonna.
do. I totally have chemo.
I heard you say that, but I didn't want to. I wasn't gonna pry in a live stream, and be like, "What do you mean?"
Oh no,
But I
no.
did.
There's no.
I did hear
Yeah,
you
there's no
say that.
stigma to it.
And you're doing
Yeah.
okay. You're doing good.
Yeah. My hair's growing back, but it's definitely my journey with breast cancer and going through it is definitely it's always unique to each person. So I just my when I think about what I've been through, I think when and then I had seen, what other people were going through in the infusion center. So many other people had it so much worse than me. So I never truly mentally went down a rabbit hole about it. I just counted my blessings when I had them, and just celebrated my wins and the things that were really bad or really hard. I just reminded myself that I'm not alone, that breast cancer affects so many, and just cancer in general. And that I was very fortunate that I am cancer free today and that I'm alive. I'm just humbled and grateful for that. And that's the way I look at it. I don't mind talking about it at all because I think that the more that people talk about things like this, it brings more awareness
For sure. For
and
sure. That's why you're an
encouragement to
inspiration, girl.
people.
Not many
I
people.
hope so.
Listen, there's people that listen, there is people that are afraid to click the link to come up on a panel just to talk. And here you are sharing your personal experiences that are traumatic to you, and I think you should be very proud of yourself for having the
Oh, thank
courage to
you,
do that.
Jay. Let me tell you though,
Absolutely.
the first time I had to talk about it, of course I was like, I was like shaking and I could barely get through it. I barely could get my voice out about it. But like I said, the more you talk about it, the less power it has over you. And then you get the opportunity to hear from other people or maybe encourage somebody else to have the courage to be transparent about it. Because as much as the internet is a blessing, it's a curse because when you do open up, sometimes you get a lot of backlash from people that don't let them take your voice and to keep there are people out there that want to hear your story, that will benefit something from it, and you most of all will benefit because you're taking the power out of it and you're turning it into instead of maybe shame or regret or just feeling like you're still a victim, it'll empower you and you can turn it into strength instead of a weakness. Oh, I feel weak because of that. And that took me some years of therapy and medication to get to, not just talking about it, but I really hope that it does. And I saw a couple comments in the thing that said it did. So
There you go.
thank you for saying
Hey,
that. I
if you help
appreciate
one
it.
person, I'm grateful for you because,
Oh, thank you. Right,
you know,
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot, and we cover these cases, and I don't know, just to hear someone, a survivor of that, and be able to share that experience, I think that it really does help people. I really do. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm
I
not a
think
victim of any abuse, but if I was, I would find comfort in hearing someone talk about it, and it would give me the strength, you know?
I think, Jeeper girl, that you're an inspiration because you're also helping remove the stigma that comes from being a survivor. And
Yes.
there has been such a stigma for so long, people feeling ashamed of the circumstances they didn't create, but they survived. And a lot of the history will show that people have been asked to be silent. And I think it's a blessing to be in such a time that we are able to share our stories and what we've gone through
I
because
agree.
Absolutely.
it's inspiring hope in all of us that there is hope still in this darkness, you know?
Yeah, and the more people
Exactly.
too that are exposed, like in Hollyweird, and I just heard a recent one. I hadn't heard about this, but 2 weeks ago, you guys all know who Vince McMahon is, right? The guy who founded the
Oh
WWE.
God.
He's been in trouble
Yes.
before, right? Well, now him and his wife are in a lawsuit. They're being sued civilly by 5 John Does that were ring boys that were abused in hotel rooms.
Oh, I
And
absolutely
it's
believe
just
that.
in every realm. You want to talk about tentacles. But the more that this comes out and the more power to the victims is where it's at for me. And no shame,
Yeah.
more power to the victims for sure.
I agree, and I have a personal experience with that because, one of, my teachers was, one of the abusers, and I had no idea that there were 4 other girls that this was happening to, but there was no way I was gonna come forward. Oh, no, 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 because I was getting it more I was getting it from other people as well too. I was being abused, and I firmly believe that pedophiles or people that would commit SA against children or other people, that they smell a victim like a shark does blood in the water. It's
Mhm.
like, ooh, I believe it may have been my body language or the way that I interacted with other people that I gave away that I was damaged goods, in a sense to say like, this one's already been broken in, and they just zoom in on
Yeah,
it.
the low if you have
I
low
just
self-esteem or anything
Yes,
like
and
that.
yes, they do.
Well, and
It's like
let's
blood in
face
the
it, what
water.
age, right? What age does that happen to a young girl too? And you see that like ages like 10 to 13, 14,
I think it's,
very vulnerable
puberty.
ages. Those are
Yeah,
very
because their
vulnerable.
body is going through all these changes but
It's
that one
confusing time.
victim.
It's a confusing time just being a teenage girl
Right.
or a boy. And that's another thing. And that's why I bring up the Menendez brothers. I think them being
Mhm.
released and them being a voice for male victims is going to be huge. I think they've made differences already in speaking to male victims and making it not shameful for a male to come forward.
We're
That's
seeing it with the P. Diddy stuff, so
Yes, it's
yes,
slowly
yeah,
happening with the other gender, right? And we need that.
yes.
We need that. We need more of that.
Even Terry Crews, I don't know if you know who Terry Crews is, but, um, Terry Crews also, spoke out about, one of his experience, not P. Diddy, but one of his experiences as a Hollywood, actor, and then someone who plays in the movies, and he's like this big guy, seems like, real strong, real tough, like, and for him to, admit that because men have this stigma of being emasculated if they are a victim,
Yeah.
and that should not be that way. But I just
The
like I
Menendez
was
brothers
saying.
were called gay. And
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
oh,
not
yeah,
something
that's
you wanted to be called in 1989, 1990.
Oh, no.
And
No, no,
people
no.
were beat
Yeah.
up. It was a horrible time for that.
Yes, I agree.
But that's what they were dubbed, and they were poked fun of. It's just,
Yeah.
we have a long way to go, I think, on that side of things, because I think hearing
yeah.
about Diddy having males brought in too was quite shocking.
And that will make the victim question their sexuality and their identity.
Oh, it's awful.
Unfortunately, these types of
Yeah.
things, because you don't know how to process it. But I will leave on this, that when that one victim of the teacher came forward, the other 3 girls felt the courage to do it. So, I'm a class of 89, so I'm from the 80s in school.
Mhm.
And you can imagine
You
then
remember
how
the
hard.
gay bashing. It was a thing, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's
I
so
can think of
wild to think how far we've come
Yes.
from when we graduated high school. I was 91.
I know.
It's wild.
It's crazy. But I just want to thank you. And then I just want to explain real quick why my name is Jeeper Girl.
Do you have a
'Cause
Jeep?
yeah, my Jeep is, I'm like in an emotional relationship with my Jeep.
Most
And the
Jeepers
reason
are.
why, yeah, the reason why I love my Jeep and the reason why I call myself that is because I was in a near fatal car accident that was not my fault. And it was with law enforcement. It was with
Oh,
a police
Lord.
officer who was 100% at fault. Yeah. And at the time after that happened, and because I've been, a victim, I felt like a Jeep, it can go anywhere. It may not go fast, but it can go anywhere. And no one is ever again gonna harm me.
Well, I love
My
that. That's
Jeep,
your security.
and I also live in the mountains. So and I have to have been evacuated because of fire scares and stuff. And in my mind, it's like nature and people are not going to take me out. I have a Jeep. I'll be able to go wherever I want to go. I'll just crawl over you. Try to block me in. You want to do something to me? Yeah, try me.
Yeah, try
That's
me in
why
my
I love
Jeep.
Jeeps.
Does your Jeep have a
Exactly.
name? Does it have a name?
Yeah, it does. It's named Ruger after my dog,
I love
my
that.
service animal, he passed
Aw.
in January. But the thing
Aw.
about Ruger, and I'm not going to get emotional talking about it, is that during my cancer journey, because I was diagnosed with the breast cancer April 20th of last year, and through all of my chemo, through everything, he was my return service animal. I have another service animal, but he was there no matter what. He
Love dog.
was always, yes. And I kept telling him, because I couldn't take him out. I couldn't, go. The Jeep it was his until he passed. Now it's mine. But he was there. He was always just such a solid. And I kept telling him that I was going to take him. We're going to go this and we're going to do that. I talk to my dogs. But what ended up happening is my last chemo was December 29th. And a few days after that, he was just not himself. It's like he just stopped. It's like he just let himself go. And I took him and that was on a Friday. And then I called the vet up, and it was too late for me to take him in, because I was like, wow, something's really wrong with Ruger. So on Monday, we went in that Monday, and they told me that it was cancer. And it's like he literally held on until I was done with my chemo, and then he let himself go. And it made me so angry. I could have took any other answer but cancer. And that was one of the things that was helping me get through the chemo, is knowing that that was one of my rewards that I was going to do with him, as take him out and good do those things and those victory things I wanted to do with him. And he was holding on for me that whole time, and I didn't even know it. So, yeah, my
Wow.
Jeep is named Ruger after him.
Well,
Was
that's an
an
awesome
amazing dog.
tribute to him.
Yes.
Bless
And I think
Ruger.
about that. Yeah. Yeah, he was amazing dog. He was an Australian cattle dog. He would talk, and when I would FaceTime with my family, he would like watch the FaceTime and
Aw.
talk back. He was very intelligent, and he's the one who knew I had cancer before I did. A month before I realized that I needed to get screened, like something was really wrong. He just got up on me, and he got almost nose to nose with me. It was just staring at me like, are you still in there? It's like he could smell or sense that something wasn't right. And my husband and I looked at each other like, what in the heck?
Wow.
Because he had never did that before. But yeah, he knew. And that's why I believe he knew my chemo was over, and he just let himself go. Like, I've did my job. So
Aw, what
yeah,
a
it's
sweetheart.
emotional. Sorry.
Oh, you're
But
fine. I think
It's
I
thank you
think there's
so
beautiful.
I
much.
think there's some tears in the chat.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you so much again. Now, my service animal, my other dog, need to maybe next time I'm on here, I'll put a profile picture up
Oh
of
yeah, we'd love that.
Ruger. Yeah, I will do that. So
You got
thank you so
people.
much,
I'm not
ladies.
crying. You're crying.
Oh yeah. No, it just
It's
yeah, that
that's a sweet story. I mean,
I wish it was anything else
but
other
you know
than
what?
and we yeah.
That's what made him complete. You know what I'm saying? Was being there for you.
Yes.
So
That was his yeah, no, he was definitely he loved it. He was so spoiled. Like I said, that wasn't my Jeep until he passed. Then it was my Jeep.
aw.
But yeah, we're gonna get another cattle dog. We rescued him. He was 2 when we got him, and he was 12 when he passed. But we're gonna get another cattle dog. It's just that our snows are coming in, and I don't want to. I suffered a 40% bone loss in my chemo, so if I fall, I'm in trouble. So I don't want to be chasing a puppy out in the snow and ice. So we're gonna get our replacement cattle dog in the spring when the ground is no longer frozen. And
Puppy.
yeah, I cannot wait.
Oh,
I'm just
you
it's
gotta
so
share. You
hard.
gotta share photos when spring
Oh,
comes.
absolutely. But
Thank you so
thanks
much.
you
Much
again,
respect to you.
everybody. Yeah, and to you, and hooray, a day to celebrate. I need all the wins I can get. To me, this feels like a win for Abby and Livy. And
Well, I'm glad you're walking away
yeah,
from this with that.
yeah, yes. And like I said, I'm sorry to the ones that didn't get the verdict that they wanted, and I hope that they're able to cope with that and come to terms with that at some point. So thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank
Goodbye,
you. Thanks,
everybody. Thank
Jeeper.
you.
Bye, Jeeper. She's awesome.
Yeah, she is. You are too, Regina. Miss Regina. I
No, Jay, you're
I
awesome.
appreciate everything you do as well. I know you got what do you got going on? What's on your agenda?
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm still covering the Troy stroke case. She was my age. She was found on the side of a road in a tote. I was in court the day that Michael Lacey, her name is Troy Alexandria Strope, is the victim. I'm there. I go to court and stuff for her family because they live out of state, and for some reason, it's been handed over to 3 prosecutors. I know things about how she died that I cannot share on you cannot share with you here, or I can't even say it. It's so awful, Jay. And this man is not even looking at the death penalty whenever everyone is afraid of this man. They say he has murdered before. Um, his mom is a quorum judge in the town he's being prosecuted in, and his stepdad is the mayor of the town next over. And there's a lot going on with that case. But the main case I'm working on right now, and this is crazy, is the John Brent McGee. He's missing out of Leachville, Arkansas. I've been working with the family, and I've become a member of STAR, which is the search team actually looking for him.
Mhm.
And there there are 3 suspects in this case. One of them being his wife.
Oh,
Um,
yikes.
and yeah, and I can't give too many details about it because I'm actually privileged to be able to go in here and help this family, and work hand in hand with his, family, Jamie
No,
and
yeah,
Phyllis.
definitely keep that,
Right.
privilege.
But I can say this, and this is like the biggest thing going on in the case right now. Last night, um, there was there was luminol utilized at a place known somewhere Brent to be, and the house lit up like a Christmas tree. We are waiting, and this was after I got done with searching ditches and stuff for Brent yesterday. This luminol became available and was utilized, and police have come in. They've marked this place off as a crime scene, and they took parts to the lab. So hopefully we are breaking ground. And his wife failed 2 very important questions, and these are the only 2 questions on her lie detector test that she failed, and they were, "Do you know what happened to Brent? And do you know where Brent is?" And she failed those questions. So that's what I'm working on.
Yikes.
Um,
That
yeah,
sounds crazy already.
it is. But because I'm local, I'm able to work these cases and work one on one with victims' families and stuff. And it's so relieving to be able to help people that need this kind of help. Like there are so many families out here with loved ones and nobody's even talking about them. Like, and I feel like it's really important to be able to bring these cases to other people's attention because Leachville is where Brent is from, and it's like a population of 2,000. So it's a really small town that covers a really big area. And one of the people suspected in his disappearance is a taxidermist, which adds another wrench to
Oh
it.
my
So,
goodness.
yes, it's
That
crazy.
sounds really crazy. Well,
If
thank
if
you
you
for
want, if if you want to cover the case, I'll send you everything I have. I can even
I know
put you in
you've
touch
sent me
with.
some stuff. Just there's been
Yeah,
so much going on with all these trials back to back that we've been waiting on. I
absolutely.
haven't even had a chance to even, look at anything else, but yeah, I mean, I
Right.
appreciate your coverage and what you do for victims as well, Regina.
Well, see, that's the whole thing. That's why I'm so appreciative of you, Jay, because I'm out here dealing with local stuff and you're keeping me up to date on all these big cases that are out here, and stuff. And I'm like, I got to know what happened. And I was like,
No, there's a
okay,
lot
well,
to
Jay
keep
is
up
the
on
one
for
I
sure.
trust.
Thank you,
So,
Regina. I
yes, there
appreciate
is.
that. Thank you for coming up,
So,
and you're always welcome.
oh, you're such a blessing. You're so sweet and such a good hostess, too. So, thank you for
Hostess
that.
with the
And
mostest.
hostess with the mostest. Thank you for having
All
me.
right, anytime.
You have a blessed
You
afternoon.
too. All right,
Bye bye.
bye. I was so appreciative of these ladies coming up today. Thank you so much. I think we should watch this video. Round of applause for our wonderful call-ins, but also a huge round of applause to you chatters. I know that there's a lot going on the tubes. 161 of you, according to my thing, have stuck around since the verdict. And you did, Megs. It's going to the grand jury. She's an awesome clicker. Lick, 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 lick. Keep me posted, Megs. But I think this is a good reminder of the cases we've covered since 2018, since Jay is for Justice officially this month. Hey Helen is 6 years old. This is Here's to 6 more years on Jay is for Justice. And this is a special video that was made for me when I hit 100K. It's been slow. We're at 109. We're almost at 110,000. But this isn't a race, right? This isn't a race. We're here for the truth. We're here to cover cases. We're here to have good conversation. We're here to build a good community. So that's what I'm about. And I know y'all are too. But I hope you enjoy this. Let's watch this video made by none other than our own Incognito Potato with help from the moderators for Jay is for Justice, which, we all know. We have the best mods. I'm going to put this full screen. Hashtag best mods. This will be fun to watch again. This will give us some clips from Jay is for Justice, going back to the beginning and a lot of the cases we've followed. So let's watch this video, y'all. And thank you again to Potato for creating this. This is going to be fun. I haven't watched this since the first time when I hit the 100K earlier this year. Slow and steady wins the race, baby. That's right. All right, here we go.
Getting ready to just have a showdown. You understand me? He'll be coming around the mountain when he comes. He'll be coming to Steve Ryan Anson. He'll be coming to Steve Ryan Anson. He'll be coming to Steve Ryan Anson when he comes.
turn it down.
What's going on, everybody?
Good morning, sunshine. We are live. Good evening. Happy Friday. Hey, is anybody with me? Is anybody with me right now? I'm doing a test stream to test my stream settings to make sure everything's good. Is there sound now? Hi, welcome to J is for Justice. I am Jay. Welcome to my channel. I swear to God, I'm gonna get things that don't have mute buttons because I'm terrible. I'm so sorry.
Well, hot damn, hot damn. My OG channel's back.
YouTube took my channel away.
Good luck, because I'm pretty determined.
Roberta.
Hey, Roberters. Happy hump day. Welcome to J is for Justice. My name is Jay. I'm your host, and I don't have my headphones on. I go upstairs and peace on the floor. I don't know how well you can see that. They're chewed to bits. Chewed to bits. So we're gonna we're going down Beach Creek Road. This is what it would be like if we were all in a car together and Jay's driving. Try not to get car sick. Don't go down Beach Creek after dark. Is that what they say? Oh, snap.
It's like, what?
Yeah, I've never heard that either. I mean, why would anybody want them to do that?
You have to stand down.
Oh my God, what happened? Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Did you lose me?
No. We just seen it fall.
Oh, my screen went like blurry, and then I heard, JB, we've got to stand down. I was like, what? Where's JB? And is he sabotaging me, my live?
We didn't hear that.
You didn't hear that?
No.
Thank you, Shell. It was Shell's super chat. It said, JB, we need to stand down. She says, who's Watts? LOL. I know. First of all, I'm wearing my present. So Shell got me this. Check this out, guys. This is like the coolest. I'm like Grady Judd's #1 fan. Watch. Check it. It says, just chill out. And he's got 7-Up and his moon pies. I am officially Grady's biggest fan.
John? Huh? Yes.
Does that sound about right?
Well, not completely, you know. I mean, it's always there. It's watching. It's been watching me for years. Every time I turn on the fucking computer, it's there looking at me.
Okay! Hurry it up.
Roberta, Chris and Roberta, do you want them to go to Walmart and hang up a sign? Tampa.
Was she in Tampa? Did you see him stop down to keep his mailbox steady?
Do you think you'll
Oh, I added some tunes. Wait, did we freeze up? What happened? It froze up. Hold on. What's going on, Christopher? Okay, let's continue. You know, it would be a great soundbite inserted right here. The soundbite of Stern's mom going, "We moved to Northport where the old farts come to die, and now there's 2 families here going through the same thing."
How long this went on, you guys. And we just all sat watching him. Don't stall it out, Chris. Olive juice. God. What is going? Oh, I know what it was. It wasn't porn. I was playing. I remember what it was now. I was trying to play Paparazzi by Lady Gaga, and it was like her having sex in the beginning, and that was what that noise was. I played the official video, is what happened. You guys crack me up. Then I muted it, I think, because I was freaking. I was like, what? Where did that come from? Hang on. I think I figured it out.
Thank you, Flo.
I owe you and will make it up to you this Christmas, you'll see, with a winky face. What does the Culks have in store for me for Christmas? Thank you so much, Shane. Carrie, thank you. You're my favorite. Roberta. They're all going to laugh at you, Roberta. They're all going to laugh at you. They're all going to laugh at you. Literally, I said shell, didn't I? Oh, my God. I thought I should said shell. I said snow, shell. Oh my gosh.
Roberta, I don't know.
I have no excuse, Shell. Shell is the mod boss up in chat. I know it's not the frame. It's 2 stools. It's 2 stools scissoring. I know exactly what it is. The stools are scissoring. And they're wedged in the door, and the other side is wedged against the stove. Well, I don't know how else to say that I do know what they're doing. They're scissoring stools, and they're wedged in front of the door.
Where it's an everyday occurrence, so something like this is just sort of rare, doesn't happen often, so people aren't used to it. It's really odd, because I don't know, I've never been this close to any sort of other...
Wait, why did that guy just disappear? Wait, what kind of video editing is this, Fox? Did you guys see that guy? Oh my God, this is the funniest shit. That dude just disappeared like a ghost. Look. Where did he go? What the hell? Watch.
I'm used to it. It's really odd.
It's not even an edit. Santa's going to let you know if you're on the naughty or nice list. So you're going to find out today on J is for Justice if you're getting a present or if you're getting coal. So test Santa. I dare you. Test him. I'm just kidding.
Time to start the old car.
Oh, Lord.
It's been a while since this engine started. Let's see if it starts. VV.
Oh my God, what if that was...
And it turned into just like crazy house. The moment she showed up in my house, just the weirdest crap started happening. Lights turning on and off, sounds of people walking in walls, and like sounds like footprints going up walls and across the ceiling, and like
what?
Stuff floating around, and it was just
what?
It was weird, and I hated it. Ruby would go up and check on her. It started like every 4 hours at night, and then it moved every 2 hours at night, then it moved every hour at night, and then at some point Ruby said, you know what, I'm just going to start sleeping in there. And if I need you, I'll come down and get you.
Oh my God! She said, I'm just going to start sleeping in there. If I need you, I'll come get you. Don't come in here because I'm in here with Jody.
There's a lot of cooters. They're like a gang of cooters, and there's some that are like imposters, and they're mean, but they came in one night. They were totally hilarious, and they're like, we're the real cooters, you know. And then there's some cooters that come in that are just raunchy.
I gotta zoom in a little bit because look at her nail beds. She has like toenails on her hands. Yikes. That is creepy. creepy.
Going on in that home, or what went on up north that brought them into
You got the belt. But he just told us with his own lips, his own Play-Doh lips. He said, LOL. Mike, see, what are you talking about? Einstein, Jay, Jay, what made your choice? On a pipe? It's already there, Jammers, and she didn't even hear me. She stepped away, I think.
What? What, me?
Just the visual with the ear. Okay, back to seriousness. Opinion Einstein says, Jay, what made your choice?
Okay, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and bring the jury in. Oh, whoops. Yep, you're right. Juror 23. I knew that.
What's up, Timmy? You want some raisins? Do you want some raisins, Mr. Timmy? Oh, I forgot we have a new sound bite.
Babies with them high top white shoes on, with the real hard bottom.
If you know, you know.
It's like a meat locker in my chamber. So
So let's listen to her plea where it's like watching Chewbacca make a plea because all you can see is her hair. Okay, here we go.
I like how this is close to the back of her head, too.
Really hope
We might be able to see bugs if we look close.
sincere apology from everyone who has made.
guys are the most reliable, best community I've ever seen. And I've been to some other chats. And let me tell you, you guys by far are the most amazeballs. I can't even stand it.
Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace. Potato, potato, potato. Oh, it wasn't any easier watching that the second time around, let me tell you. Amazing job. I know. Sorry, Jazzy. Whew. Yeah. So many important stories that we've covered. Whew. Thank you for celebrating with me, guys. I can't believe I'm 51 years old. I was thinking about this last night. I'm like, in 2018, like right before I started the podcast, I turned 46. And I was still working in healthcare. I was doing home care. Oh, excuse me. And hospice marketing. When I took the plunge and moved to Florida and left the corporate world behind, and started this podcast all on my own. And ever since 2018, I've had some very loyal people. Cheryl, Shell, Megan. I mean, you guys have been around since the very beginning. Tato, not far behind, Angie B. All you guys, man. You're awesome. So hopefully we can keep this going for another 6 more years. What do you think? Aw, thank you, Potato. Thank you for everything you guys do. Like, I couldn't do it without you guys. And also, back to the Delphi thing. I don't know how to explain why I feel relieved, but I do. If I was on the jury, I don't know how I would have felt. I just want to put that out there because I don't know. I mean, it's easy to sit here and say that. It's easy to sit here and say that about any case, but I honestly don't know how I would have felt on that jury. And Janice, our lovely Janice Burns, we lost her this year. She's been around since the beginning. She was here from the beginning. Oh, lovey. Whew, okay, enough tears. We have to go out with a laugh. How about if we play that clip again? Aw, thanks, Cheryl. Auntie Cheryl. If I missed anybody today, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. You two bad actors, thank you so much for the Venmo. It's appreciated. And keep up the good work over there. Beth Sutherland, thank you for becoming a member today. That's a great birthday present. Thank you. Hopefully you will get the most out of your membership and join us in Discord. I've been kind of in a funk lately, so I haven't been as active in Discord, but I promise I'm going to get back to our watch parties and stuff. It's just been weird. This time of the year just gets really weird for me. And I don't know why. I don't really want to analyze it because I don't, but JR, thank you. Helen, it's good to see you as well. I know, I miss Janice too. Right back at you, Miss Sherry. Jazzy Girl just donated 5 memberships. YouTube bad actors, Aggie, Sweet Pea, Anne, and Ellie. You guys make sure you thank Jazzy for those memberships. That is so kind of you. Thank you. Thank you. I couldn't think of a better group to spend my birthday with, to be honest. I wanted to share that clip again. Do you, Chris? And it's weird because I'm in Florida, like I'm not supposed to get that. I'm not supposed to get seasonal BS like that. And you know what's weird?
You know what's weird? I can't remember what I was going to say. I lost my train of thought. It's just weird. I don't know what I was going to say. I can't remember. I'm weird. Here, I thought we were going to be analyzing this case today, and I'm just like kind of relieved that we aren't. But then on the other hand, I still feel like I have unfinished business because we didn't talk about Keegan Kline. We didn't deep dive Ron Logan. And now I feel like it's pointless because it doesn't matter. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I know watch parties are fun, Core. Hidden True Crime said, she and others have been scared to tell the truth. So strange. So I'll be curious to see what comes out. I've got to go watch all that stuff too. Yeah, it is. It's our bodies. It's like our internal clock. Yeah, I needed a little break, but I feel good today. I feel good today about the future of the podcast. The fact that it's dark. Yeah, I know. It's already, well, it doesn't get dark here till like 6:30, but that's a lot different than it usually is. 10 o'clock sunsets are gone. Thank you so much, Sherry. I want to thank you. But yeah, it'll be interesting to hear what the ones in the courtroom have to say about what they saw. All right, so let's watch our Lions again, our Detroit Lions. I don't know why. I think that's so fucking cute. Listen to the guy laugh. Oh, man, that was great. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this one up. I am really, really contemplating going live on my second channel tonight. If I get my shit together, I will. If not, it'll for sure be tomorrow. I promise. I promise. Thanks again, man. Thank you so much for the gifts. I can't thank you guys enough. I really don't feel worthy of it. But yeah, we beat you, Kels, Houston. I got Bishop. I got broads in Houston. Panda, panda, panda. You guys all have a great day. Enjoy yourselves. Let me know what you find out about the Delphi news. We will compare what we find out when we watch our regular streams that cover it. All right, guys, let's share our thoughts later. And we're going to run our credits and then we're going to dance it out. Thank you so much for celebrating my 51st birthday with me. First time celebrating my birthday with a 100K plaque. I owe it to all of you. Thank you so much.
I heard it.
Whoops. Bring it all in 2025. As we coming in hot with a GoPro. Bye, guys. So much for watching. If you enjoyed this live stream or video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my latest content. Want to take it a step further?
Bring it all in.
And join our community clickers by becoming a Patreon or a YouTube member. You'll get exclusive access to our Discord server, special channel perks, and much more. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.
Click. It's real easy, man.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 wanna be, you wanna be, you wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to friends, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back. 'Cause I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. I don't give a damn, I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn, you talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. You're mad at me for not giving you comfort. You say that I'm away so much, and now you don't feel the way you felt when we were younger. That's okay for me. I heard it was. 'Cause I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn.
High top white shoes on with the real hard bottom.
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.